Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Dorm Rooms and Deadlines. Thank you for tuning into the second episode. We have actually a lot of views on the first episode, which was super exciting and I was not prepared for, so thank you guys, you're awesome. We left off with the characters all being urged by these mysterious, colorful figures, calling themselves the Vistani, to go and have their fortunes read by a certain Madame Eva. They wandered the town for a bit beforehand, encountered a few undead creatures of rather questionable origin, and proceeded to stay the night at the Blood of the Vine Tavern. After some discussion with the owners of the tavern, they have decided to, in fact, go and visit this Madame Eva. And that is where we left off. So, everyone, you wake up from a rather unrestful night. You hear weird sounds in the night. There's bats shrieking, you hear... Yes. You all have very strange dreams as the night progresses. You wake up, rested, back to full health, but still uneasy about what the day might bring. What do you do?
Why does everybody look at me? Let's hit the road, guys! There is my love language!
Wow. Alright.
Cuckoo agrees.
Cuckoo agrees. I take that as agreement.
And Luke nods.
Alright.
Slowly.
Alright. So, I lead my fellow travelers out, snatching maybe some food. No one saw that.
No one
I was
saw
on
that.
my way out.
Alright. So, you guys are currently right there.
We are.
Alright. Where are you going from here? Are you going this way? Are you going north, south, east, or west?
Aren't we supposed to go west to find the fortune teller lady or whatever?
The camp. The encampment.
Yes.
Is that west?
Yes, that would be west.
Alright, let's head west.
Alright.
West!
Everybody make a perception check for me. For your modifiers.
Which dice?
That would be a d20 plus your perception modifier.
Oh, deception or perception?
Perception.
9.
Alright. Luke's?
I have 12.
12. Okay. Cuckoo? What did you roll
I
at?
was
5?
not yes, it's
Okay.
a 5. I was not
Uh,
proactive.
so-
I have this open.
Luke's. As Melanthios and Cuckoo charge ahead, Cuckoo's actually apparently trying to hop ahead of Melanthios and finds it funny. You actually look over towards the south because you hear a surprising lack of shutters banging or doors loose on their hinges. You glance over and you see a very large, very nice looking house that... Wait for the car. It's so loud.
Her window's open.
Oh, that's
I
why.
can close it.
That would be lovely.
Okay.
it's kind of distracting.
By the way, Melanthios' dye are black and they match his cloak, and he's really proud.
As he should be. As he should be. Alright.
If there had been pink dye, would you have chosen pink?
Yes. Affirmative.
Of course.
Alright. So, getting back to the matter at hand. Luke's, you look down this way, and you see, for such a large house, there should be more noise coming from it. All the windows have been boarded up. All the doors have been barricaded. It appears to have been reinforced several times with many different types of reinforcement. It's old looking, but it has iron gates, and the outside is not well kept. What?
What do you say about this house, guys? I mean, it looks very suspicious. I'm wondering what he might be hiding in there, because it's boarded up.
I mean, it doesn't look very well kept though, so there probably aren't very many valuables.
You don't remember what happened the last time we went into a house?
Yeah, no, Luke's, oh yeah, wait. Yeah, Luke's was there we haven't had very good luck with houses, honestly. Like, first there was the house that literally tried to kill us. Then there was the house with the zombies.
Centipedes!
Don't!
Don't!
Melanthios has flashbacks.
Just don't!
Burn
the sticky!
I mean, we'll follow outside if you want to go look in first.
You first!
Well, I'm wondering if the girl that we were looking for might be in there.
Oh, that is a good point.
Because if she's hiding or someone is hiding her, she might be in there.
Alright, you still go first, though.
You first!
Okay, I'm game for that. So I creep up to the door slowly.
Are you trying to be sneaky?
Yes.
Make a stealth check.
Okay, I have 16.
Alright, 16? Yeah, easy enough. You are a very, very stealthy wolf. You sneak up to the door. You watch the gate as it opens and closes slowly. It's a rusty gate, but it isn't making too much noise. You manage to slip in between without a problem. And as you look, you can actually see that all of these weeds and overgrown areas of the brush have been trampled and left with many strange and confused footmarks all around the doors and windows. There are claw marks that have been carved across the door and the wooden boards across the windows. There's no glass in the windows. From what you can see, it's literally just a bunch of wood planks that have been barricading this home from whatever's been assailing it.
What sort of claw marks? Do they look small, big, deep?
They look deep. Give me a general intelligence check. Just roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier.
It's 14.
You have no idea what these were made by. You look at it, and you hold up your own, like, clawed hand up to it to kind of, like, measure. But whatever made this was somehow humanoid and somehow monstrous at the same
Zombie?
time. Possibly. Cuckoo just suddenly sees Luke's go off, comes flapping over, and just starts squawking zombie in Luke's ear repeatedly, completely destroying any stealth effect that may have been. No, I'm kidding.
I do that, though.
However, you do realize that the prints on the ground, there are several large wolf prints, all scattered throughout this confusion.
I don't know what to do, guys. I mean, I can hold my own against wolves. But I'm worried about these scratch marks because it seems like someone was in a struggle or a fight. Now I'm wondering, the girl, there's no sign of the girl, but she could still be here. What do you think? What should we do?
What if we climbed in a window?
And
You
then-
first!
What if we opened a window?
Okay, I'm a little bit worried that the wolves are in there, or the monsters, so I'd like to start out on the second story. Can I climb the wall?
You can certainly try.
I try.
Do you have a climbing kit?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh wait, do I?
I don't know. It
Where
would be
would-
in your inventory. Or in your tool.
I have rope and string. That's about it.
Alright. So let me see. That would be a story checks page. Because
I mean,
can't
I
find
could
it
tie a
anymore.
rock to the rope and like throw the rope up and have it catch on something and
You
climb
can
the rope.
certainly try. Alright. So you look around for a rock. It's relatively easy to find. There are pieces of burned brick that are sort of around the house. You can see scorch marks on certain parts of the home. You find
Burn the sticky!
you find a sizable chunk of brick, and you tie the rope around it several times. You get a good sturdy knot going. I'm going to need you to go ahead and make an athletics check to try and throw this rope up on something and hold it. Use your d20 and add your athletics.
18 minus 1, so that's 17.
Okay, easy enough. You take a minute, you sort of take a couple steps back, you look up, you sort of gauge with your eyes how far away. There's a gargoyle on the side of the house, you sort of gauge it. You sort of do like a western cowboy kind of lasso deal going on with this rock. You hurl it up there, it loops around
And I'm just watching it like
as
it goes around.
Cuckoo's head is circling rapidly as this brick increases in speed, and then goes shooting off towards this gargoyle. Cuckoo's head almost flies off as it snaps to follow. The brick loops around the gargoyle. It seems to be sturdy, and it holds in place. Go ahead and make another athletics check to see if you can actually climb the rope.
I guess that's a 5.
Well, it's kind of at a tilt.
If it's cocked, then you roll it again.
Okay, because that is at a tilt, is it not?
It's hard to tell from this angle.
Okay, it's a little bit.
Okay, go ahead and roll it
Okay,
again.
yeah, actually, I do see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah, but if the die is ever cocked and it lands, you can go ahead and roll it again. It's cocked again, roll it again.
Okay, I'm gonna roll this in like an open area.
There you go. That's a 9 to an 8.
Yep.
So, spurred on by your immense talent at lassoing gargoyles, you grab hold of this rope with both hands and start to pull yourself hand over hand up on this side of this wall, and you feel extremely powerful. But you start to get a rope burn, and it really hurts, and you just feel the need to let go of this rope. And it's good because you're only like 6 or 7 inches off the ground. Like, you took maybe 2 steps up the side of this wall and just decided that it wasn't worth scarring your beautiful hands.
Mm-hmm.
So you are not able to climb this rope, unfortunately. However, as you do this, you hear a voice from the inside. Who's there?
There are.
Who is it? What do you want?
Who are you? I was merely trying to assist.
Who are you? What do you want?
I wanted to see if you needed any help.
Go away!
What are you doing in here? Do
Go
you own
away.
this establishment? Are you breaking in? Are you a thief?
Are you a thief? Look at the pot calling the kettle black.
We can't have thieves around this town.
Oh my gosh! Cuckoo starts obsessively making bat noises as a nervous habit, as Melanthios insists that there are no thieves in this town, as he is a thief and stands beside a thief. Luke stands there innocent of all crime, for now. This voice pauses for a moment and says, "What are you doing here?"
I am employed with the owner of this estate, and I have come to inspect it.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh. I rolled a 3.
Nat 1! No, I'm kidding. Let's see. Let me roll again so you get a nat 1. Okay.
My deception is a 4.
Okay, 7. There's a long pause from the inside. A few minutes go by. A few more minutes go by. About 15 or 20 minutes go by. No one answers.
Perhaps she has died.
Perhaps she has died. Yes, your deception was so bad that she just died instantly.
This is such a struggle. And originally I wasn't too enthusiastic about this endeavor, but now I'm kind of like...
Are you invested?
Are
I'm a little invested, yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if this is that girl.
It
So
didn't really sound... It sounded like an older person. Like, not a young girl.
well, I'm gonna try it anyway.
Gertruda!
People. You hear some shuffling from the other side of the wall. What about Gertruda? What about Gertruda? What do you know? What's happened to her?
Gertruda!
Yes, I heard you the first time. Melanthios is struggling. The door opens a crack, and you see about this much of a face. You see a wisp of red hair. You see
Hair is my love language!
Yes, you see a wisp of red hair, very, very striking pair of brown eyes, watches you from the doorway.
So I'm intensely calculating how, like, the pros and cons of how quickly I could chop off a bit of her hair. But
Okay.
I have self-restraint.
Do you?
I do.
I don't think you do.
I for real do.
I have notes on how much you don't have self-esteem. I have pages worth of notes here.
Melanthios
Actually.
believes in himself and says,
Glad someone does.
for a price we might be able to provide you with information, depending on your intentions. What do you know?
She closes the door.
Damn it.
Melanthios, maybe we should try just telling her about the situation. And then she might be willing to offer information of her own.
How does that benefit us?
We can trade information for information.
How does that benefit us? Thinking like a thief.
There aren't any thieves here.
Alright, I mean, that would also get us inside her house, which I don't quite say aloud.
Which I don't quite say aloud. Are you sure? I think you just said it aloud.
Alright, you go ahead, Luke's.
What information should we ask about?
We definitely don't want to offer up any, valuable information to her before we know that we're going to get something valuable out of it. How good of a liar are you?
Not good.
Oh,
Sorry.
this is a problem. Just wing it. Don't say anything too important. Of course, we don't know anything very important, so I'm sure that won't be very difficult.
I mean, you don't, so...
We're kind of stuck, but we have to act like we know something important, or
Wow.
she won't give us anything important. So just give the basics.
Okay.
Be honest, but don't say a lot.
Yes.
Alright guys, what are you doing?
Okay. I go up
To the door?
to the door
Okay.
and I knock 3 times. Softly.
Okay. She cracks the door open again. She sees you, and immediately you see the point of a knife pointing at your nose.
I'm sorry.
Miss?
Stay back!
No. I'm not gonna do anything. I just wanted to ask you about something.
So yeah, she sort of glances over her shoulder, and she turns around. You are a talking wolf.
Technically, I'm half wolf.
You are a talking half-wolf.
I am. But I might have some information you would like to know about Gertruda.
Are you from Castle Ravenloft?
I'm not. And
Make a persuasion check. With disadvantage, because you were a wolf.
yes.
And of all of you, you are the one she does not trust the most.
Why did I volunteer?
We're gonna send the wolf man up.
Okay.
Well, are we gonna send Cuckoo, like...
I mean, you can certainly try.
Burn the sticky.
honestly,
Ee.
metagame knowledge, honestly, she would have trusted Cuckoo more. Like, out of game, she would have trusted Cuckoo more.
Okay, it's 16.
16! Wow. Yeah. So she sort of looks at you, and she looks at the rest of your party. Quickly, come in. All of you, come in.
Oh, I guess is a little bit excited now.
She ushers you all in, she shuts the door, there's 10 locks on the door. She goes through the motions very quickly, locking each one in place, shuts the door with the and then locks all of them. And you notice there's a very distinct difference between the interior and the exterior of the house, where the exterior was very mutilated and burned and scorched and with these gashes carved out of the wood. The interior is actually very well decorated. They're old furnishings, but they seem in good repair. This house apparently once held a noble family or had much wealth related with it, but by this time, along with the rest of Barovia, it has fallen into decay. There are noticeable oddities around the boarded-up windows. You notice holy symbols everywhere, all different deities, all around the room. You see down the hall glints of either glass or something else to indicate more of these holy symbols scattered for even further into the house. And off in the corner, you notice what appears to be an open coffin.
Oh. How do we do this?
Okay. Trying to ignore the coffin.
I remember
Try
the
to-
last time I was inside a coffin, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
I said, "Oh, interesting. I like your house inside."
Thank you. You said you came to help.
Yes. To tell you about Gertruda.
You said you were employed by the burgomaster. She points at you.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. They're just some friends of mine. But yeah, I am.
The burgomaster has been dead for 3 days.
Yeah, hence why I'm dealing with his affairs.
I don't believe you. And she turns back to Luke's. And even in the dim light, you know, she's a very, very striking individual. She's slim, she has very long, very well-kept red hair. She wears a very dainty sort of lace choker around her throat. Very dark eyes, almond-shaped. She's quite attractive. If she's wearing plain garb, suitable for her status. And she speaks with great import and with a strange urgency. Yes, what's happened to Gertruda? What do you know?
Well, we were visiting the house of a woman, and she was very upset because, as we found out, her daughter actually...
Gertruda!
Yes, Gertruda is her daughter. And she is actually gone, and she has disappeared.
Oh no. That is not good.
I know, and we are actually trying to help her mother by finding her. And we were just wondering if you knew where she was, but I guess it seems like
I'm sorry,
you
I
are
don't.
also at a loss.
I've been staying here ever... The monsters, the wolves, they come every night. We're afraid to leave.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's hard. So, whose wolves are they? From what source do they come?
We presume they're from Castle Ravenloft, Strahd von Zarovich.
Why would he want
she
to
sort
target
of reaches up and fingers at the lace choker briefly.
What would he want with you?
I don't know.
Well, Melanthios is just like low-key obsessed with all the religious symbols on the walls, and he's just looking at those.
As this very serious conversation is going on, Melanthios is trying to steal all the holy symbols. Got it.
But he kind of like whispers to Luke's like, you should ask her who else is like in here, because if she's not alone, like who else is here?
I will do that.
Yes, I will do that. Okay, so you're the only one here, or are there others?
Well, there's the burgomaster, and she turns and looks at the coffin.
There is or there was?
There was.
Okay.
What?
No one has been willing to help my brother take him to the cemetery. They're all afraid.
Of what?
Of the wolves of Strahd! And she covers her hand with her mouth. She realizes she's gotten a little too loud.
Well, if you pay up his debts to me, I'd be happy to help.
What debts?
Debts he owes me from, like, I didn't get my paycheck this month because he died, and I wasn't actually aware until a couple days ago, and all this craziness. But yeah, like, if you can just help me get that in line, I'd be willing to help you in return.
Make back-to-back a deception and persuasion roll.
Okay.
Oh, what is it?
Alright, and that's
20!
Yes!
Oh my god.
Okay, and my,
She is thoroughly convinced that you are the tax collector for the burgomaster. She thinks that the reason that she didn't believe you before was because it was through so many layers of like clawed up wood that it was just garbled so much that she wasn't able to understand who you were. But now she is thoroughly convinced that somewhere, for some reason, this burgomaster has become indebted to a dark bluish gray elf with pink hair.
I like to think of it as
it seems
ash gray.
Okay, ash gray with pink hair and is thoroughly confused by this turn of events.
Will we do perception now?
No, it would be persuasion, but
Or persuasion.
yeah, go ahead and roll persuasion. Okay. That's cocked. What do we got? You're struggling with that dice. 15. Wow. Wow.
And my persuasion is 4.
Dang.
You're doing well.
Hey!
This is what rogues do.
And you guys didn't trust me!
Okay. So,
Kind of for good reason.
I mean, yeah.
We don't
that's
talk
one
about
of the
that.
options. So, she sort of squints at you and goes, "How much did he owe you? We don't have much here."
What is your monetary system?
She
I'm asking
pulls-
her, that's
oh.
like outside of I don't know.
Out of character. You don't have
Yeah.
a character voice. I don't know. Come on.
You should know, we considered calling this group. They tried so hard.
Yeah,
you could
that
probably
was-
see why.
That was on the table for a while. They tried so hard. And the DM is also trying so hard.
fun.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. We're having fun. So anyway, it's Electrum. Electrum is what it's called.
Okay.
They have Electrum here. And you wouldn't know in character either, so if you asked her that, she would hold up a silver piece with a portrait of a man on it. And the man has slightly pointed ears. Not an elf, but the ears are slightly pointed. The face is gaunt and looks cruel.
That's troubling. I don't want to push my luck with this lady. Because I've been having such good luck. So I just say, I'm not really familiar with the local currency since I'm new here, but it's about 2 weeks worth of pay. So it's not really that much, honestly.
I can give you what we have, but you will bury his burgomaster. We will help Ismark.
Yeah.
Thank you. And she gives a curtsy and she runs off to the back room. Where is the money in this book? DMG, guys. DMG. I don't know where anything is. I have no idea how to find it. So, we're going to say she comes back with a small pouch of coin. She passes it to you. And there's about... You shake it. You can tell there's about maybe 5 or 6 pieces of electrum in there. It's a fair amount of money.
Mhm.
So she hands it over.
I'll take it. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, really glad we were able to get this sorted out. But let's like wrap up here and then we can like help you out. But I believe Luke's probably had, sorry for interrupting your conversation, Luke's probably had like a couple more questions or something. Like about...
I'm having help with that coffin. I'm not gonna carry that all myself.
Oh, of course not!
You will get your hands dirty.
I mean, you know me, I'm pretty strong.
okay.
What are you doing here in Barovia? You are strangers here. You don't sound Barovian.
Welcome to Barovia!
She looks concerned when you say that. Like she looks deeply concerned when you say that.
I whisper to Melanthios,
You're not good at lying.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're all pretty new to the town. I'm the only one who has had an actual job. So I've just kind of been helping out my friends. And they're wanting to help this lady find Gertruda. So, that's what we're up to right now. Especially, and I'm also hopefully looking for some new employment because of this unfortunate event.
So you have nothing to do with Strahd.
Strahd.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that name around a bit.
I've heard that name around a bit. My My favorite thing is that you guys in character literally have no idea what you're doing here or who any of the main NPCs are. It's great. You guys have been killing it.
Is that related to, like, Gertruda or the Burgermaster's death or something? Like, yeah, we're really new here.
Make an intelligence saving throw, Melanthios.
Okay.
Because I just remembered that something happened to you in Death House.
I know! We don't talk about that. Okay, which one?
Oh, yes!
Which one?
D20, and then your intelligence
Yeah, I
saving
saw
throw.
you smiling
Okay.
a minute ago, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, yes.
13, and my intelligence is 3.
So you're saving throw, 3. So that's a
16.
17? 16? 17?
16, because it's 13 and 13.
Oh, that's right. I didn't hear you said 12
Oh,
and
yeah.
13. So, as she keeps saying the word Strahd, you feel something at the back of your mind, sort of trying to come to life, like flickers, something, confused images. You sort of take a step back, you look at her, you shake off whatever strange effect the name has on your mind, and you resume the conversation with seemingly no effect. She looks at you and she goes, Strahd is the vampire lord here.
Vampire Lord! Oh, I did not know we had those.
I didn't know we had those! He's been harassing the town. He's been trying to get in here.
What is he trying to do?
He's trying to take me.
Oh, that's an injustice!
That's
And
She looks at you and she's very confused by just your entire personality. She doesn't know what to make of you.
Can I gently take her hand? And
Here
console
is
her?
his love language!
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so sorry you're dealing with this, ma'am.
Thank you.
Out of respect for the Burgermaster, I would really like to help you in any way that we can. Just
Really? Well,
Already helping her with the coffin.
oh my gosh, the only reason you're helping her is to cut off all her hair, isn't it?
I don't want all of it.
Melanthios has a thing for cutting off people's hair and just like keeping it, I don't know, he's kind of
explains the
hair
hair
is
as
his
his
love
love
language.
language.
He said it once in Death House, and and Cuckoo just took it and ran with it. Like, it's gonna be the last thing Strahd hears. We're convinced it's gonna be the last thing that Strahd hears. Like, it's gonna be so bad. So, she starts to explain to you exactly what her relationship to Strahd is. She explains that he's actually kidnapped her twice before and has bitten her. And she pulls down the lace collar. You can see 2 slight bite scars on the side of her throat. She doesn't quite remember where she came from or how she got to Barovia, but she knows that since she's been here, Strahd has been seemingly obsessed with her. He's been sending the wolves, he's been sending strange humanoid creatures that are pale and gaunt with red eyes and claws that rake their claws across the boards trying to get in every night, and finally the Burgermaster couldn't take it and eventually died 3 days ago. Oddly enough, she says, that once the Burgermaster died, the attacks stopped.
Oh. Can you tell us anything? Do you have any ideas on, like, why Strahd has been trying to get to you, and why it might have stopped when the Burgermaster died?
Let me grab my digital copy of the book. Strahd has the following goals in the adventure. I don't care about Strahd's goals.
I don't care about Strahd's goals.
Not yet, anyway. Y'all are gonna die. It's great. Yeah, I don't think... I'm pretty sure that Irina doesn't... Yeah, no, Irina doesn't know. It's alright. So, back to the game. We've gotten that out of the way. Always remember to check your notes. So yeah, she's not sure.
This is exceedingly troubling.
Is it?
Can I do a check to see how trustworthy she is?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay. 50-20.
Yeah, roll a d20 plus your insight.
Why is my insight only 0?
It's better than your strength.
True. Okay, it's 11.
11?
Yeah.
She seems honest. She seems desperate and confused and slightly concerned, but she believes that you people are trustworthy. But she doesn't seem to be hiding anything.
Okay.
Burgermaster Nostrad?
I couldn't say. We didn't really talk about him much. We just tried to keep the town running as best we could. Ismark and I have been doing it for the past 3 days. But he's been staying at the inn, and I've been staying here. It's safer for me here. And she gestures to the symbols on the walls, the holy images.
I nod, confirming, because I completely agree that those would keep her safe.
Melanthios knows what's up.
Yeah. That makes sense. I would do the same. By the way, you haven't by any chance seen how much have you in the past seen anybody else like looks a little bit like me around town?
She sort of tilts her head and looks at gives you a long, hard look, and she goes, I think I would remember something like that.
Wow.
But then she also, her gaze slowly goes from you to the boarded up window behind you, and then back to you, and she goes, no.
What did that mean?
She has no way of seeing the outdoors. She hasn't been outside.
Okay.
No one in this town goes outside.
Who's Ishmark? Is that
Ismark.
Ismark? What's your relationship to this individual?
He's my brother.
Yeah.
She looks offended. Just, yeah.
No, that's cool.
Squints at Melanthios.
I think you are doing her a concern.
Slightly. The DM is having a concern, but it's okay.
Melanthios is flailing at this point because no one's ever trusted him this much before.
He's
He
never
doesn't
rolled
know what to do with it.
He's never rolled a nat 20 before is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, Luke jumps in saying, okay, if Ismark moves back in here, will you feel safe?
Well, yes, but he won't leave the inn until he finds someone to help him bury the burgomaster, and I have no intention of going to the inn.
Oh, then it's all solved. We bury the burgomaster, and Ismark comes back, keeps you safe, and we move on to find Gertruda. Oh, what did you say about Gertruda earlier?
I'm very sad that she is missing. I'm afraid for her.
You don't know anything?
No.
What was she like? Do you know where she might have gone?
She was childlike. She didn't really... Well, she didn't give out much. I'm afraid for her.
Do you think perhaps Strahd has anything to do with her disappearance?
I hope not.
Um,
She became British with her concern. This accent is not my strong suit unless I'm doing it very heavily, you guys.
By the way, who was in power in this town before Strahd was here?
Oh, no one knows. He's been here so long, since before all of us were born.
Oh. Well then. Do you know if there's any, no, never mind. Never mind about that. Let's go, guys.
Let's go, guys! Are you taking the body with you?
Yes. Mind if I borrow one of your, religious symbols?
She squints at you. Make a persuasion check.
I'm not trying to steal it! I'll bring it back!
Yeah, but this chick's been kidnapped by Strahd twice.
Okay.
That's a 9.
Okay. That's a 9.
That's a 9. She looks at you and she goes, no.
Now, are you sure? Because maybe the the religious symbol will protect the burgomaster in the coffin, and then he can safely return to the earth.
Take him to Donovan.
Donovan.
Donovic.
Why?
Because Donovic is the priest in the church down the road.
Why can't Donovan
He-
come here?
He will know what to do. Donovic does not leave the church. It's dangerous.
And Lux feels comfortable with that. Because priest.
Priests are chill.
Yes.
Yeah, I like priests too. Alright. Alright, now I put on my most masculine of countenances.
Wow.
And I
roll for that.
Yes! Wow.
That's a pretty high DC. You're gonna have to roll like a nat 19 to get that. Okay.
But I approach the coffin. I'm like, yes, all right, and I close it. All right, you grab that end.
Smells like a dead body.
Ugh, yeah, it's disturbing, but seen worse.
Welcome to Barovia. You literally have seen worse. You fought 2 of those yesterday.
Yes.
Or last week.
So I point at Luke's. Okay, you grab that end. I point at Cuckoo. You grab that end, and
Disgruntled squawk.
and I start ushering them out directly, directing them out the door.
Alright, are you guys being sneaky about this, or are you just bringing the coffin out?
We're just bringing it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at least if we're just leaving the house.
Everybody make...
Can I hand her my
What's everyone's passive perception, actually?
I'm a 12.
Okay.
14.
12.
Okay. So, Lux, for a second, as you exit the house, you think you hear a sort of sound, but then you realize it was probably just the wind sort of hissing through all of these tangled weeds and vines that have overgrown the front yard.
Can I hand her my dagger before I leave?
Yes.
I do.
A gift? No trade?
Oh.
It's called investment, my friend.
I assume you're coming back for it then.
That and more.
Oh.
Her hair. of
Her
course.
hair. Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's something super, sly and sketch, but it's really just her hair.
Yep. I wouldn't want someone coming from my hair.
We walk.
Okay, so
towards
we're
the
walking
church.
with the
Hey, where's the
coffin.
church?
The church is... I have notes for this. E5. The church is right here. So you guys come walking up this way. You actually pass the Blood of the Vine Tavern and continue along your way until finally you get to the church. It's about 2 or 3 in the afternoon at this point. You guys spent a long time with Irina instead of catching up, learning her history, what she does and doesn't know, finding out about the Burgomaster and Strahd. So and walking over there. So it's taken you a good most of the morning and part of the afternoon to actually get to the church. It's actually on a slight rise, and as you crest it, you see there's this... It's really sad, especially Luke's, you've seen churches many times, and Melanthios, you grew up in a monastery.
Yeah.
So for both of you, this is just a really sad-looking church. It's gray and sort of sagging in on itself. It's got a wooden roof that's mostly in shambles. It's seen better days. It really has. There's a bell tower in the back. There's little bits of light flickering through the holes in the roof that you can see. So someone is there. But it looks like it's on its last leg. It doesn't look like it's holding up very well.
Can we search for the priest?
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and go in. You notice as you enter, the doors of the church, just like the doors of Irina's home, are covered with these awful gashes and claw marks and scorch marks, like fires lift up the sides. The actual church is very well lit. It smells awful, and it's filthy, but because of the holes in the ceiling, it's got a decent amount of atmospheric light. The chapel is just strewn with debris. There's garbage everywhere. You can hear a soft voice ahead of you that seems to be muttering a prayer or an incantation of some kind. But suddenly, the prayer, or what you can hear of it, is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from the floor.
So Luke was outraged by the state of the church because he really respects the church, but completely distracted now by the scream.
Alright.
Melanthios is still just disturbed because he's heard so many random screams in his life.
So many.
He's just like, whatever. He's still just like sadly looking around.
I'm just hopping around on one foot making bat noises. It's fine.
Yeah, so Luke's is freaked the heck out. Melanthios is bored. And Cuckoo is playing hopscotch while making bat noises. Got it.
This is our lives now.
We need fan art of this. All 3 people who will watch this, we need fan art.
Okay, so I try to figure out where the scream is coming from.
The scream?
Yes.
What if we just left a post-it note on the coffin and left? Think about it.
Yeah, but you want to go back and tell her that you accomplished the goal.
Do you realize that telling someone something does not necessitate doing the thing?
Sorry, I forgot. I'm not good at lying.
Alright, again, you first. You're the strongest, anyway.
You first!
Okay, can I do a perception thing for
Yeah.
where the scream's coming
Yeah,
from?
go ahead. And it's sporadic, so there's enough for you to be able to hear multiple times. Go ahead.
Wow.
Okay, 10.
The fact that something in the church is screaming like a banshee is so disturbing to you that you can't even focus on where it might be coming from. It bounces off what remains of these majestic walls and just escapes the holes in the roof.
And my ears are just going this way and that way. I don't know what to do.
Luke's is trying so hard. He's got like the satellite ears going on. Can't do it.
I feel like we
Maybe-
should try perception checks too.
Okay, but Luke's owes me.
What? For what?
For using your eyes?
Well, maybe! I don't have a lot to work with here.
Squints at this game.
Okay, I roll
You would have a
perception.
problem too because you're a drow. You don't do sunlight.
I low-key roll a 3.
Melanthios, like, he turns his head to look around, and a piece of his own gorgeous hair falls in front of his face, and he gets distracted, and just starts braiding it, and he's so pleased, and thinks of Irina's beautiful red hair, and how nice it will look, braided into his own with the ghost hair, and the hair of that other chick that he, like, randomly had in the party at one point. And he just thinks of how nice it will look, and he completely forgets what he's doing in the chapel.
Okay.
Cuckoo, please help us.
Okay, I got an 11 and I think it's 2. So 13.
Okay. What are you looking for specifically?
I guess I have pretty good hearing as a bird, so I guess I'm trying to locate like exactly where the sound is coming from.
Okay, the sound of the scream or the sound of the prayer?
The scream.
Okay. The scream very definitively came from beneath you. So either this place is a basement or there's something in the ground.
Let's hope it's not in the ground.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Maybe we should seek out that light first and ask Priest about this.
Melanthios actually does have a tinge of morals considering his background. So he goes in search of the screams.
You're going to look for the screams. Alright.
Um,
So, the way that this works is you guys walked into the chapel through here, and the only really way, I mean, there are side rooms leading over.
Yeah.
And then there's a main chapel leading straight into it. So do you guys go into one of the side doors?
Mhm.
Or do you go straight into the chapel?
straight in.
Straight in.
Okay.
Straight in.
And I march up to the altar.
As...
Can we not have any more getting on the altar antics?
I would like to drape myself fabulously. Oh, Melanthios, we
We
love
were
you.
in an interesting situation where there was a creature and there was an altar where worshippers were apparently sacrificing to
to the
appease it,
creature.
and she decided to get on top of the altar
And pose.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then the thing ate him.
Is he a little bit, like, obsessed with himself?
No.
Of course not.
Like, a lot of it?
Yes. 100%, yes.
Okay.
He is the Tony Stark of the group.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Perfect.
Melanthios is Tony Stark.
Except more beautiful.
And with pink hair.
True.
I'm going to Photoshop Tony Stark with pink hair now. That's going to be Melanthios'
Please do
picture.
this.
Anyway,
Beautiful thing.
back to D&D. So as you barge into this chapel, it's also in shambles, but there are candles everywhere. There are candles in all the corners. There are candles on the broken down pews. There are candles on the altar itself. They're all lit. They're all burning as if whoever lives here is trying to purge every shadow from this place. In the center, in front of the altar, is kneeling a man. It's a priest. You can tell by the vestments, you two. They're very dirty vestments. He doesn't look like he's been taking any care of himself whatsoever. Next to him hangs the very thick, sort of coarse rope that leads up to the bell tower. And again, from beneath the chapel floor you hear a scream. This time the scream has words. And the voice cries out, "Father, I'm starving!"
I'm starving!
And the man seems completely unfazed. He stands there and he's rocking back and forth and he's mumbling prayers under his breath. He's just sitting there wringing his hands, and he starts kneading at his vestments sleeves. He's sweating a little bit. You can tell he's very deeply entranced in thought.
So I approach him
Okay.
and I say, "Excuse me, good sir. Is there a reason for the screaming? Is this a real sound?
This is a real sound! You've been in Barovia for 2 days and you have no idea what's real. I love it. That is the entire purpose of this game.
I'm very disoriented right now, and I don't know if this is true or false."
So this is the guy that you walk up to. He's great. So you're asking him about the screams. I love how you guys walk into the chapel with a body, leave the body there, and then are like, "Hey, who's screaming in the basement?"
Basically.
Because that's a logical chain of events. Alright.
Can I go down to the basement while Luke is talking?
You can certainly try.
Or is there a basement?
Oh.
No. Don't even.
Or is there? There is no basement.
We're not starting this.
Honestly, that sounds like something that would happen in Barovia. Like, not gonna lie, that sounds like something that would happen. Oh. Okay. So, are you looking for somewhere to get into the basement?
Yeah.
Make a perception check. So as you address Donovan for this screaming sound, he looks at you. 15?
Yeah.
You do not see, amidst the rubble and other nonsense and candles that have been strewn across this room, you can't really tell if there's a way to the basement from this area.
I leave.
Where are you going? There are 4 side rooms. There's B, C, D, or E.
I go into D.
D, alright.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Alright. So as you walk into the room, you can tell this was, at one point, apparently a closet of some kind, but it's completely decrepit now. There's mold covering one wall entirely. Like, the stonework has just been consumed by mold. There's broken roof shingles scattered around. There's puddles of water. This standing water. There's a couple of, like, mosquitoes that just sort of, like, flicker up as you enter. It's pretty nasty.
Better than centipedes.
Better than centipedes! Yeah, they said they were fighting centipedes, and they set the centipedes on fire, and they were still swarmed by centipedes. They were swarmed by flaming centipedes. It was great. It was awesome. That was
I had
terrible.
nothing to do with that.
Melanthios set them on fire.
I tried to eat them. That worked.
Yes, it's a good time to eat them. That was a good time. So,
how'd that work out for you?
she missed.
Too great.
Oh.
You missed every time. You had like 3 attacks, and you
Like,
missed every
I'm pretty
time.
sure I tried to eat them and ended up just whacking my beak on the floor. Really
Did you have to get
hard.
like stuck in between the molding or something? Like,
Something.
Okay, I leave that. We're really
wait. I wasn't done
Oh,
distracting.
sorry.
You got distracted with centipedes.
Oh, sorry. Go.
In one corner, you notice it's warped with age and water damage. You notice a very large, heavy-looking trapdoor. It's chained, closed, but through the cracks you can hear, because the screaming has been constant. It's either just inhuman screams or that same "Father, I'm starving" over and over again, coming apparently from this trapdoor.
Okay, I yell for Luke's and Cuckoo, and I say, "Look, come help me with this."
Can we hear?
Yeah, I mean, Melanthios is
I
loud.
kind of halfway followed because I want to hear this conversation, but at the same time, I kind of stick with this guy. So.
What I think is funny, so what happens is you ask Donovic this question. He very slowly turns to look at you, and as he opens his mouth to respond, Melanthios just shrieks out, "Hey guys, come help me with this door!" And you all run off to the door. And Donovic is not pleased with that turn of events.
No, what have we done?
He comes running after you, and he grabs onto your arm, and he says, "No, no, no, leave him be. Leave him be."
And I growl slightly under my breath because I don't like people grabbing me.
Heck, Donovic doesn't like that. He lets go. He realizes that you are a large wolf man, and is not okay with that.
Half wolf.
Is Cuckoo in the room with me yet?
Yes, Cuckoo is in the room with you.
Okay, I close the room. I close the door to the room.
Oh my gosh.
And I lock it.
And I just kind of make like a disconcerted squawk and just kind of like look through the door to you and back again. Say, "Burn the sticky!" And then just try to ignore it.
Is that your word for door?
That's her word for door. They fought. Oh, it is her. So they fought. There's this creature called a mimic that can impersonate any inanimate object.
Oh.
It was disguised as a door. And if you get hit, and if you hit it, it sticks to you. So they set it on fire. Hence the burn. The
Gotcha.
stick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Cuckoo's
That's
input.
hilarious.
So when Donovic hears that, he attempts to run around you, and tries to open this door that you guys have barricaded, and he rolls a 6, so he does not succeed in breaking open the door. But you can hear him through the door. "No, don't hurt him! Don't hurt him!"
Who?
You say this through the door? You guys are just gonna have...
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Look, I want to know because this guy might not be crazy, but also like I don't want him to prevent me from doing anything that I want to do.
Okay.
Which is why I closed the door.
It's my son, Doru.
Sounds like a girl. Your son is really girly.
Their DM's a girl. Deal with it.
Leave
him be.
What's wrong with him?
Squints at notes. He went off to that castle. Came back changed.
What do you mean?
Leave him be.
Is he a vampire or something?
Leave this place.
Well, you certainly aren't keeping up on it, so I don't see how you have any right to say that. You need to explain. I'm getting a little bit tired here. We're wasting time.
I'm never prepared for you people. I'm never prepared for you people. What are you doing? Is that a coffin?
Oh.
He like looks in the hall and just sees this like coffin of the Burgomaster.
Burgermaster!
Yeah, you might get pretty familiar with one if you don't hurry it up.
What are you people doing? Meanwhile, the screaming continues from the basement. Just this whole time, there's just this like manic screaming from the basement.
It's casual.
It's fine. It's totally fine. This is Barovia. This is normal. So Donovic looks at you. Well, he looks at the door. He looks at Luke's. And he points at the coffin and he goes, "What is this?"
Master!
The door is closed. You don't know what he's doing.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm on the outside of the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Only with him.
you're in the hallway with Donovic.
Stuck
These two are
outside.
in the door.
Okay.
These two are on the other side of the door. Yeah, got like a
That's
Doctor Who
just a
thing going
little
on here.
something we brought along. It's gonna leave soon.
It's going to leave soon. He looks very disturbed by this, and by you, and by all of the goings-on thus far. He turns his attention back to the door. "Don't hurt my son."
Apparently you're the one hurting your son. He's starving.
I'm trying to save him.
How? Save him from what?
The wizard took him to the castle. He came back changed.
Yes, but why is he starving?
You can't let creatures like that out.
Woo.
Oh, better be
can I-
careful here.
Can I yell down to the sun?
Sure.
Okay, gosh, what do I say?
I don't know, what do you say?
Yeah,
You're doing a stellar job thus far.
Hello, excuse me. I have some awesome cupcakes. If you will, calm down for a second and explain yourself.
You hear the sound of claws or nails being scratched across wood.
Wait, what if he's just a werewolf? Luke, do you know how to deal with werewolves?
I am not a werewolf, but I may be able to.
Donovan
Relate.
crosses himself. As you say the word werewolf, he is concerned. Like, crosses aren't a thing in Barovia, but he crosses himself. It is the Barovian equivalent of whatever that is.
Oh.
But
Mind opening the door?
Mind opening the door.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Rule number 1, never split the party.
Melanthios didn't go to party schools.
Melanthios was hiding away in a monastery being sad about his life.
Yeah, basically. I yelled down to it again. Hello? Are you in there? Are you You were speaking before. What's going on?
So I feel really bad for the chick who's in the bathroom because I'm just gonna be like screaming bloody murder. So as you say this in a very calm voice, the scratching intensifies. He goes, "Let me out! Let me out!" He's clawing at the wood. You can hear through the trapdoor.
Okay. I have a plan. I have
Melanthios' plans.
I have I have some rope. What if we made a net and put it on top of the trapdoor, and nailed it in really hard, and then open the trapdoor so he still couldn't get out, but we could see what's going on a lot better.
How good are you at weaving?
I'm actually
weaving.
pretty good
That'd be a dexterity check.
because
so.
of my hair. I'm pretty good at it.
Because of my hair.
Weaving the braids of your hair.
Yes.
Weaving other people's hair into your, usually dead people's hair into your hair.
It's a skill, guys. Yeah.
Okay, we could do that.
Okay, you take out your 50 feet of rope.
We did!
Alright, I take out my 50 feet of
You're gonna
rope.
have a time on weaving that in the future.
It'll be good. It'll be fine. Alright, and I try it.
Okay, give me a flat dexterity check. So, d20 plus your dex. You're a rogue, so you should be good at that. Theoretically.
Yeah, it's a 5. And then my d20 is a... What?
No, just a straight dexterity. I think it's a 3. Not sleight of hand, just dexterity. 5. Not a saving throw, just dexterity.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, it's a 3. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're good.
I think it's a 9.
Mm-hmm. What does the dots mean?
The dot shows you where the bottom of the number is. 'Cause there's also
It's a
6.
9.
Okay. 9 plus 3, that's an 11. Okay. You sit there, you're fiddling with it for about
9 plus 3 is a 12.
Wow. I am really bad at math. Why am I the DM? I don't know. I'm gonna take my metal die and throw it at the
go
wall.
the wrong direction.
That's a 2. That's a 7. There we go. So as you're attempting to do this, you are struggling so much because braiding hair is much easier. Like braiding your beautiful moisturized silken hair
Yes.
is much easier than braiding this like thick, coarse rope that you have. And as you get about maybe a third of the way through this rope endeavor, Donovic actually manages to come through the door.
No!
Oh.
We did!
Looks at you and goes, "Please, it's to keep everyone safe. What are you doing here?"
How do we know you're not crazy?
I'm not.
Gertruda!
What about Gertruda?
Yeah, what about her?
All of you people with Gertruda! He looks genuinely confused at the mention of Gertruda, and he looks at you and goes, "Why have you brought... Why did you bring..." And he sort of, like, points at the coffin of the burgomaster. Like, why are you here?
We just need you to do burial rites, actually. That's a thing.
He walks over, and he opens the lid, and he shouts and he looks at you and he goes, "Irina sent you."
Is that bad or good?
Did you leave her alone?
But we did leave her there, but she...
Is she
Melanthios
safe?
dagger!
Wait! No! It's not what it sounds like!
I've heard it both ways! We're not gonna
Ignore
go...
the bird, person.
Ignore the bird! Ignore the bird!
We ignore the bird.
When in doubt, ignore the bird. Donovic looks slightly more concerned. He looks at Melanthios.
Enough questions. You haven't answered all of ours. I just really wanted... He's hungry.
He's hungry.
I've known hunger.
I'm not sure it's funny, you know it's sad.
I say we get him out.
No.
What's the worst that can happen? We'll just kill him if he's any trouble.
No! And he immediately... Let's see. I'm gonna need you... Actually, this has been rolling terribly. I'm gonna roll this one. I'm gonna need you to make either an athletics or acrobatics check, whichever one you're better at. Just Melanthios, because he's going to try to attempt to grapple.
That's gonna be acrobatics.
He's going to attempt to grapple you. Let me see if I have Donovic's stats.
My acrobatics is 3.
Well, I need you to roll acrobatics.
Which is...
A d20 plus 3.
6 plus 3.
Wow.
9.
Just barely. So he reaches over and he actually grabs a fistful of your hair.
Oh,
You are You are so offended by this that with your quick rogue-like reflexes, you reach up and you actually elbow him in the forearm, and he breaks his grip, and he staggers back a little bit, holding his arm, and he glances at the trapdoor, he glances at you, and he goes, "No."
I mean, he's gonna die anyway. What's
No.
your issue? Do you have a plan?
He went out with the wizard and he came back changed. I'm going to save him.
How will you save him? He's starving.
He pulls out a holy symbol and holds it up.
I consider this.
I consider this.
But, have you tried so far?
What do you think I was doing when you interrupted me with a body?
You need to be more proactive with this.
I have an idea. We can feed the body to him.
No! This man deserves proper rights into the afterlife.
He's right.
Cuckoo is very confused right now.
Yes!
He's right.
Okay, we can still have the funeral, but we can also use the body here.
Hey, actually, you're not wrong. Because if this thing is not, like... If this kid is, like, sane, he's not gonna eat the body. But if he is insane, he's going to. So what if we just...
I'm not going to let you desecrate the body of the burgomaster.
I mean, don't you trust your own son?
No!
Oh. Do you have any fake bodies around? I don't know.
Did you come here to bury the burgomaster, or did you come here to mock me?
Bury the burgomaster! And I just glare at Melanthios, because this is getting out of hand, honestly.
It really is. I don't know what to do at this point.
You're the one who instigated this!
And Luke's is sitting here like, I don't know why there's a problem. I know why. I know hunger, and I get ferocious sometimes when I'm hungry too.
Donovic looks at you and points to the door of the chapel.
I'll just be quiet now.
If you could just explain, like, what you mean by changed. What does that mean?
He went with the wizard and he came back changed. And he's obsessively fingering this holy symbol that he has. He's sort of turning it over in his hands.
Am I able to speak bird language at all?
What languages do you speak?
I don't know.
You have a sheet with instructions on it.
Where are languages?
It would be under other proficiencies and languages. Do you read?
Celestial, Common, Elvish, Undercommon.
You speak Celestial. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Why am I British? That happened. Welcome to Barovia, everyone. I'll be your tour guide.
Of course you will.
No, you don't speak bird.
Yeah.
I speak wolfish.
She
I
does.
can try talking.
We don't have
to him.
a language for that, but like, we just decided it was called wolfish
Wolfish.
because we didn't have it. We're like, I don't know.
Okay,
wolfish.
try that. Try speaking to
Okay.
him and see if he understands.
Now you have to let me through the door first.
Okay, wait. Well, the door was already
the
broken.
door. He broke
Oh,
the door.
okay.
Yeah, you can.
So I walk through the door.
Okay.
Doorway. And I go up to the trap door, kneel down,
Mhm.
and I start saying in bullfish, "Hello there,
Mhm.
down there. Are you not going to attack, or are you going to attack when we open this door?"
He screams at you.
We can provide food for you, because we hear that you need food.
It's very quiet. The chapel goes silent.
Not alive.
The chapel is silent.
I think he understands. This is a bad idea.
I'm
Let's
wondering
leave.
about this.
Let's leave.
What you eat?
I don't like this omen of silence. Well, maybe if there are no stats in here.
Are there any other? Are there any other entrances
To
to the basement?
not that you can see in this room.
I ask that guy,
Donovic?
Donovic. Are there any other entrances to the basement?
No.
What does your son look like?
He looks like my son.
Aren't you intelligent?
That was me.
Wow.
Donovic does not know what finger guns are.
I'm gonna be like some priest you are.
Me as a priest.
Should we try cracking open the trapdoor and seeing what he does?
No, let's leave. I walk out of the room briskly.
You leave the room or you leave the building?
I walk out of the room.
Okay. You're back in the hallway with the still uninterred corpse of the burgomaster and a bunch of broken furniture.
I'm just done right now, so I'm just like, I point to the coffin and I'm like, Burgomaster, bless, bury, leave.
Yes! I love Cuckoo! He's so salty about everything!
Bless, bury,
Leave! Donovic looks at you and he's wringing his hands again, and you realize that previously when he'd been wringing his hands, he was clutching this holy symbol in between his palms. It seems to be a nervous tic of some kind. He sits there and he's holding it. Very well. If you'll leave us afterwards. Irina sent you.
She did.
No, she.
Make sure she's safe.
I'm genuinely concerned for Irina.
Which is why we need to get out of here quickly.
So does the priest...
Hang on, I'm reading.
Oh, okay.
Because he has information that he can give you. So, he looks at you and he goes, "What did she tell you?"
Tell us what? What do you mean? Is there anything to tell?
Are you going to keep her safe? She's
Yeah.
not like the rest of us.
Oh. Yes, she sure isn't. What do you mean?
She's not actually, I don't know how to say his name. She's not actually Kolyan Indrovich's child. We found her near the Svalish woods. She had no memory of how she got there. It's probably some sort of reincarnation curse that the rest of us are burdened with. But she had no memory of her past. Kolyan, against all of our ideals, took her in. Strahd took interest. Keep her safe. And for a moment, his eyes, which previously had been glancing on there, sort of nervously almost fix on each of you in turn as he says this. There's some sort of underlying urgency that was not there before. But then, after he says this, his eyes sort of begin to flicker on the room again, and he starts nervously wringing his hands and holding the holy symbol, as Doru, from below, once again begins to start screaming at the top of his lungs.
I'm getting annoyed by the sound. It's too loud for my ears.
Oh.
Luke
just starts rubbing his nose on the ground, like, no.
Oh.
No.
I pull out I think I have like a cross or something. I don't know.
Even though there are no crosses in
I feel like I had
crosses
that before,
You
but
had,
anyway.
you had some kind of holy symbol.
Yeah, anyway, I pull it out, and I kind of, like, clutch it to my chest, and I say, I vow that I will keep her safe.
Mhm.
Okay,
Take her,
But we really need to hurry here.
take her to the Abbey.
The Abbey, where's that?
It's in Kresk. Take her to the Abbey in Kresk. The Abbess will know what to do.
She not want leave.
Kresky! I do. Kresky? I know, every time you say Kresk, I'm like, Kresky? Like, you don't know, you don't understand. Take her to the Abbot in Kresk. He can protect her.
We will.
She'll be safer with him than she is here now.
Okay, first, can we bury the body?
Yes.
Why don't you two go help him bury the body since you're stronger than I am anyway, and I'll, like, watch this door here to make sure that his son doesn't get out.
Okay. I think you're trying to avoid getting your hands dirty again. I'm okay with that.
I'm suspicious, but I'm just gonna let it slide.
So, I say, okay, lead the way, sir.
Alright, Donovic assists you in carrying the coffin outside to the cemetery. And as you walk, he tells you that this is an unusual cemetery. Everything has to be taken very special care of, and as he begins to prepare the body for burial, he tells you that every night, around midnight, the souls of dead adventurers rise out of the church graveyard and form a silent procession as they march through the streets of Barovia, and then return once again to the graveyard.
I didn't hear that, but
When does
Yeah,
this?
you're not there.
And when does this happen?
Every night, midnight.
Okay, good. It's still daylight.
Yeah, it's getting around 5 or 6 in the afternoon now. Donovic mentions once or twice that he would prefer to bury the body in the morning. But
can I make a perception check?
for what?
Just make sure there's nothing funny, no movement or anything in the cemetery.
Yeah, go ahead, roll a perception check.
Okay.
I want to make sure you weren't like trying to check him because that'd be insight. So.
So 12 plus 2, 14.
There doesn't appear to be. There doesn't appear to be anything suspicious on the grounds or between the headstones at first. For an instant, you believe that you might have seen the flick of an ear behind a gravestone. Maybe the edge of a tail turning around and soft footsteps snapping twigs as something runs off away from the church. I like this guy. I'm keeping him. So,
Does Cuckoo communicate anything?
Critter!
Wait, what?
Critter!
I'm a critter. Completely different kind of critter. But I'm a critter.
That's adorable.
Wow. I should have seen that coming.
You should have seen that coming.
I had a plan. Why did you go get a drink? I had such a good plan.
I had a plan too. I don't even know what happened to it. It's just I expected you guys to just like go straight to Madame Eva and then go on the adventure.
You know,
But
I
no.
was going there, and then
And then
Cuckoo
Luke
here.
saw a
Hey,
house.
that was blame Luke's, okay?
Yeah, Luke.
Hey,
Oh,
it's also
this is
Melanthios. And you were going
That's
on.
good,
You
that's
wanted
good.
buried.
Typically we're more entertaining than this. I don't know what's happening. This session has been a struggle. I've been struggling, you guys. I was not prepared for this session. Like I got
It's a good
okay.
detour,
I got Madame Eva down. I was ready for Madame Eva.
Oh,
Everything else you guys have done, I have not been ready for. So all this has been entertaining. Let's go. So yeah, you guys.
Okay, looks around thinking, critter.
Critter.
Critter! I've never even heard this word, but it sounds like an animal.
I've never heard this word before.
Can I do a perception check?
Go for it.
Okay. $19.
Okay. So where Cuckoo just saw sort of like a glimpse of fur and some shady sort of creature, you actually realize it is a wolf. It's a rather large wolf, grayish-brown fur, out in the daylight, in the afternoon, which is odd. It appeared to have been surveilling you for some time, and has now turned off and has started to run towards... I'll show you where it's running. Where's my pointer? There it is. And it started to run off this way, towards the trees.
We better get this guy buried fast.
Did you tell us or not?
Oh, yeah. I tell them about, actually I tell Cuckoo and the priest, Donovic, about this. And I say, we need to bury this Burgermeister fast.
Arroo!
Just makes wolf noise. Instantly makes wolf noise.
Because he might be coming back with others.
He might be. So, you guys spend the better part of another 3 hours actually entering the Burgomaster into the cemetery. By now, it has started to get dark. It's about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And the priest looks extremely uncomfortable. As soon as you are done burying the Burgomaster, he turns to you, he says, "Get Irina to Kresk," and turns, goes into the chapel, looks at you, points to the door, pushes you out, and shuts the door.
Dang it! I had such a good plan.
What is your plan?
Do you want to hear what my plan was gonna be?
If you
Well,
want to
you
resist
were
him
in
pushing
there
you
for
out,
3. Well,
I'll say if you had time to do something.
Can I do my plan in the
Yeah,
past?
go for it. In the past.
Okay, so this was my plan. You know how I have that wolf tongue from earlier?
Yes.
I nail it to the floor.
Okay.
The
Wait,
center.
a wolf tongue?
Yeah.
I don't remember why I have
In
it.
Death House, you stuck your
Okay.
hand into one of the nooks in the wall and found a wolf tongue.
That's right. Anyway, I nail it to the floor.
Mhm.
And then you know how I have that crossbow?
Mhm.
I string it up on the ceiling, pointed directly down at the wolf tongue. And I pull the little string so it's like a trigger from outside the door. And I also use my rope to wrap around like the door of the you know the trap door? Wrap around like the door handle or whatever. Okay, and I also string that rope outside of the door. Okay, so I have these 2 ropes. One triggers the bow and arrow. The other is attached to the trap door. And I close the main door, lock it, and I'm outside the room. And I look through the keyhole as I pull really hard on the rope that is supposed to open the trap door.
I don't know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to get the trap door open. And
the
then
trapdoor is locked. There's a chain around it.
I'm trying to rip the whole thing off.
How strong?
You know you have thieves' tools, right? You can pick locks.
Oh yeah!
You're making this so much harder than it has to be. Why do you do this?
I'm Melanthios.
Accurate. I would like to take my candlestick and set the shadow on fire. No.
Oh wait. Yeah, I try to pick it with my. Yeah, okay, that's reasonable. I try to pick it with my thieves' tools,
Alright.
and then I run out. And by the way, my plan
Mhm.
with like the bow and arrow and the wolf's tongue
Mhm.
is if this is like some savage being,
Mhm.
then it's gonna go out and it's gonna try and eat the wolf's tongue. But if it's just a really hungry human, it's not even the process of the wolf tongue is food.
Okay.
So that's kind of my test. And also, if it is a savage being that eats the wolf tongue, which is nailed to the floor, it's gonna be eating it. Well, I can pull the trigger and kill it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check while I read the stats of the trapdoor.
So I rolled a 7, and my sleight of hand is 7.
Okay. Dang. Yeah, it's easy enough for you to set up the trap. Go ahead and roll your thieves' tools, which is your dexterity plus your proficiency bonus. So your dexterity is a 3, and your dexterity bonus is a 2. Proficiency bonus is a 2, so plus 5. So roll something. Roll d20 plus 5.
7.
That's
12.
12? Okay. Yeah, it's an old lock, and you sort of here's sort of sound as all of the gears in the tumbler slide back, and the lock opens, and the chains fall slack against the wooden floor, and again, the screaming stops.
Yeah, like I said, I run outside. I try to run
Okay.
outside the room and slam the door shut, but I look through the keyhole.
Okay. So were you trying to open the door after you pick the lock?
I think that's what the rope is for.
That's what the rope's for? Okay, go ahead and make a strength check.
Um,
You have a -1 strength modifier.
yeah. Do you want me to roll?
Yeah, just a straight, that's a d4. You can roll a d4. 8 minus 1, 7. So, you take this rope and you and you're like using all your strength against this freaking door, and you cannot for the life of you get it open. You kind of like peek in the room again, and you can see that the wood is actually swollen because of how much water damage it has done to it. So it's actually like squeezed into its door frame. So it's going to be rather difficult to get this trapdoor open.
I close the door again, but I call down to the thing, or the person, hopefully person. The door is unlocked. You can come up now.
And Melanthios doesn't think to call Luke's or people.
No.
You two were out helping the burgomaster very...
Yeah.
So he's doing it alone.
This is all Melanthios for 3 hours.
Yeah, like I set up my whole plan at first, and I remembered my thieves' tools, and I was like, oh.
Melanthios should never be left alone for very long.
But yeah, I call down, like, hey, you can come out now.
Okay. All right. So
scared.
a few 5 minutes go by. 7 minutes go by. Then all of a sudden, I need to get something over here. It should be.
This does not bode well.
This does not bode well. Oh, it bodes so well. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. There it is. That would be right there. Alright. Alright. So, after you wait for about 10 or 15 minutes, suddenly, the door, the trap door, splinters outward as this extremely pale, gray-faced, wild tuft of dark hair, very bony limbs creature explodes out. The eyes are burning red. Looks at you for an instant. It's a humanoid.
You
Looks at
can
you for
see
an
me
instant.
through the keyhole?
You're through the keyhole? You can see it. Looks at you. And it sort of... It walks over.
Does it do
And-
anything with the wolf tongue?
No. It looks at you and he goes, I can smell your blood. It breaks through the door. Breaks through the door. And... I cry. Alright.
No!
What's your armor class? It gets a surprise round on you.
Where did it go? What?
At top of the page.
13.
That
Because
hits.
we can't get through 5 minutes without stupid decisions. This party.
I thought it was a good decision, okay?
Okay. So, Doru.
So it breaks through even before I can, like, pull the...
Oh, yeah. There's,
Man.
he's fast.
Ah!
Like, he's inhumanly fast. You can see at one point, whatever this was human. It was a young man, maybe about 17 or 18. But at this point, the cheeks are sunken, the eyes are burning red, there are fangs. This creature, whatever was human, is no longer. He bursts through the wall, and with one deft movement, puts his hand around your throat and shoves you to the ground. He's going to attempt a bite attack. That is a natural 18. So, before you can even react, he shoves you to the ground and sinks his fangs into the side of your neck. You take... Ooh. Oh, he does some nasty damage.
You're not supposed to be happy about this.
7 plus... Holy crap. I need another d4. Can somebody pass me a d4? Or a d6, sorry.
Figure out which of these six.
Is that just this?
It's the square one. That's not square, that's percentile die. Thank. Being assailed with dice. Oh boy. You take 12 points of damage. 6 of which is wait, no. You take 13 points of damage. 6 of which is necrotic, and your maximum hit points are reduced by 6.
What?
Going to give you a sticky note. This is the fellow who attacked you.
Great.
Oh,
no. That's fun.
Oh. So write down what your maximum HP was, and then make a note of the change. Here's a sticky note with a pencil.
I got it out.
Oh, are you
Thanks
leaving?
for having me.
Yeah, I
guys.
just
This
got
was fun.
excited.
I know, I know.
Oh.
I hope you had fun.
I did.
It was fun having you.
It was fun.
Come back next week.
Fun to watch.
Yay! Alright. So,
So 24 take away 6.
yes.
And then for my hit points, I'm at 16 right now, so 16 take away 8.
Well, you had back to
had
full
yours.
health. You were back at full
Oh,
health.
okay.
So it would be 24 minus 13.
Okay.
That's a 16. If you want to take 16
I
damage,
realize
you can.
this. Okay. 25. Okay, so I'm at 11.
Okay.
Not
So you
bad.
immediately, as his fangs sink into the side of your throat, you immediately feel lightheaded as the life energy is being drawn out of you.
God, why do I get into these situations?
Because you're Melanthios.
And
That's
now
why.
I would like you to roll initiative.
As I roll an initiative, I'm increasingly crying.
You cry. Melanthios just cries.
Oh, 18.
Okay. He rolled an 8. So, you immediately get to go. As soon as these fangs sink inside of your neck, you realize you were in a dire situation. So, what is it that you would like to do?
I'd like to stab him
Okay.
with my silvered short sword.
Oh, very nice. Let me...
Because it's silver, maybe it'll do something.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
So, d20 plus 5.
What's your attack modifier?
Oh, 18 again?
Uh,
Plus 5?
that hits. 18 hits?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll the damage on your short sword.
How do I do that?
Towards me.
Oh, just click that.
Well, no, let me see it. Keep turning towards me. Alright, see where it says here?
Oh,
so it's
1d6.
1d6, and then you add 3.
Okay.
So roll a d6 and add 3. Speaking of which, you can have your d... Well, I might need it again.
Yikes, it was a 1.
A 1 plus 3?
Yeah,
4. 4 damage. I need a sticky note. Ah. Because y'all are having combat. Fun, happy combat times.
Sure.
Um,
Can I have emotional flashbacks to the
dying.
that also like the thing hanging in the tree, which we don't talk about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can have an emotional flashback for that.
I have those.
Okay. So he is taken. He took what, 4 damage?
Mhm.
Alright. And now it's his turn. Well, you still have a bonus action, and well, you don't have any movement because you're grappled. You could attempt to break the grapple, but that would end your turn.
What kind of bonus actions? Like crazy stuff.
None of your bonus actions would really apply here because you are currently grappled.
But my arms are free, right?
Well, yeah, like you can stab him because you're literally just right here.
Can I try to? Oh, am I outside the door? Where am I looking?
You're like
around?
half in the hall, half out of the hall.
So is the bow and arrow?
No. The bow and arrow is in the other room pointing toward the wolf tongue.
As my bonus action, I like what kind of things can I do?
Well, as a rogue, you could disengage, hide, or, help, I think. But considering the fact that you're grappled, you can't do any of those things.
Can I do
You
another
yell
stabby?
for help.
Yeah, you can do another, you stab again, you don't add your attack modifier, so it would just be a straight d20 roll.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Stab again. Straight d20.
Just a straight d20. 3. Okay, so the first time, just fueled by these horrific images flashing through your mind as you feel the life being drained out of you, you flail out with your short sword and plunge it into Doru's stomach. There's this awful sort of sound. And you, freaking out at the noise, recoil back. You try to swing again. The blade slips a little bit because it's slick with his blood. And you miss your second attack. So, that brings us to his turn.
We have no idea this is all going
No, you guys have
on
no idea
here.
this is happening.
Yeah.
I am loudly crying, by the way.
17, that hits.
I'm just making little bird and bat whistles as we bury this body outside. Completely unaware.
Little bird and bat whistles. I'm sorry.
As you flail the second time, you feel Doru's fangs sink deeper into your throat. They actually hit an artery. And the world starts to go dark. You take 13 more points of damage. And if this brings you down to 0, you are immediately killed.
I'm low-key immediately killed.
Wait! You are unconscious. You are not dead yet. I misread that. Good for you. You are unconscious. So, the last thing that you see is this awful flashback of the slowly dangling figure of your twin that you saw briefly before everything just fades to darkness. I need you to make your first death saving throw.
What do I roll for that?
Roll a flat d20. Nat 20.
Wow.
Yes! Alright, so you have made one death save. That also reduced your maximum hit points by 7. So, add it there now. So, and you have one death save, so that's good. What's your AC? 13?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, you fail one death save, because he hits you again. He's just sinking his fangs, and he was starving. And as a vampire, that's a very bad thing. Yeah, it really was.
I thought my plan was, flawless, okay?
Not really.
You never done that alone. I didn't know any options. The priest guy would have stopped me.
Never enact your plan without people around you.
This is really unfair. You're literally just being killed by a vampire. Is what's happening.
This is my life now.
So you take another 13 points of damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by 6. It's your turn. Make another death saving throw. You have 1 success and 1 failure. That's a success. So 2 successes, 1 failure. It's his turn again.
Let's just do 2 out of 3 and call
That hits. Alright.
How close are we to coming back and finding her?
This is happening within seconds. Not even a minute has passed. Not even, literally, he burst through the door, burst through the second door, pinned him, and he was out.
How long in the whole span?
That's what I'm saying. You guys are out there for 3 hours. 10 minutes after you left, this happened. It is now 12 minutes after you left. That's what I'm saying. You guys have no idea this is happening.
I'm also praying.
You're unconscious. You can't do anything.
Never mind. I'm just unconscious.
I'm just unconscious. Alright, you take... Okay. Your hit point maximum is reduced by 6, and you... Yep. And I keep rolling 6s, man. And you fail another death save, so it's 2 and 2. Where are you at health-wise?
Oh, I'm 24. Let's see. Oh. So you roll a 6 3 times and 7 once?
Yep.
So that's 25, and my max was 24.
Okay. Bye, Melanthios, again.
My
Again.
flashbacks were really emotional.
They really were, and even unconscious as you're... And even unconscious as you are feeling the life force being drained out of you, you flash back to Death House. You see Death House in all of its terror. You see all the monsters you fought there. You remember falling unconscious in the house, and you remember going to a strange place.
I do remember that, actually.
All of a sudden, you feel yourself there again. And you look around, and it's extremely cold. It's frigid down here. And you look, and there's a faint brownish, honeyed sort of glow to certain areas of the walls, of the ceiling. It's slightly more orange in certain places. You look, you see a reflection of yourself. And you start to walk towards it, almost against your will. You approach this reflection of yourself, you reach out to touch it. And it seems almost like you are staring at yourself, but this version of you is trapped somehow behind this wall. And there's no way for you to talk to it. You try to speak, you find that you can't. The other you is clawing at this wall, attempting desperately to get through. Almost, it's a sound similar to the sound Doru made when he was clawing at the trapdoor with these horrible nails. And then a voice from behind you. And what brings you here? Yet again, little adventurer.
Yes, okay. Am I able to, like, reply?
Do you turn around or do you just try to answer?
Turn around.
Okay. Before you stands a shadowy figure. The core seems to be pulsating with that same sort of amber color. It's almost like a dying flame, encased with shadow. Slightly feminine in appearance. No hair that you notice. But instead just this dark mass that sort of shifts against her shoulders. And she tilts her head, or what appears to be her head, and looks at you again. What brings you here again? Are you so frail that you cannot withstand the temptations of Barovia?
I reach out to touch it.
You can. Your hand seems to go through her. It's almost like the sensation of putting your hand through jello, but it's not cold. It's not cold, and it doesn't leave any residue. It just has that, like, same resistance of a gelatinous substance. She doesn't seem to mind.
Where am I?
there.
What are you?
It doesn't matter. I come with a gift. And she slowly extends her hand. And suddenly, where there was just once a black mass, these burning runes carve across her palm. And oddly enough, you can read it. It's a strange language, one that you're not typically accustomed to reading. But it's the language of home. It's Undercommon. And in this Undercommon script, you see what appears to be a spell of some sort. And then another, across her fingers and down. Another, up the length of her arm. She holds out her hand to you. I offer you a gift. Perhaps this time you will be less foolish in your endeavors.
I reach out to touch her hand.
You take her hand? Yeah. Before you do, she looks at you and goes, Young adventurer, tell me your name.
Melanthios.
Melanthios. She grasps your hand. As this happens, there's a sudden shooting pain through your entire arm. As these marks of this, as these almost flickers of, hello? I'll wait. It's fine.
like when you're watching a movie and there's a commercial break.
Melanthios, as she grasps your hand, you feel the searing, burning sensation as the marks that have been all up and down her arm transfer over to yours in these curling spirals of very intricate, very elegant script of Undercommon that is incredibly beautiful, but nevertheless appears permanently embedded in your flesh. And suddenly, you go back through these incredibly cold tunnels and hallways, and there's a gust of air, and you sit up and you look, and you're shaking, and it's dark. You can't really see, your eyes are blurry, it's awful. You sort of squint, you look around. You're extremely weak. Doru is gone. There isn't even, your clothes aren't even bloodied. He took everything. There is no mess anywhere. There's no evidence of what happened. You sit up, you look at your fingers, and they are ashen. Where you were typically a sort of pale bluish gray, a nice ash tone, you were almost, what's a good word for this? like, instead of being wood ash, it's volcanic ash. Where it's that off-white, sort of powdery color. You have 1 hit point. You are alive. But at what cost?
I have pretty arms now.
You have something. Where's my pen? I need to write down what just happened. So, and as you look, this actually, you guys enter as Melanthios sits up. You were gone for a while. And suddenly, Willow, who actually stayed in the inn because she was just like, you know what, I'm gonna chat with these gypsies, finds you guys and is like, what the crap, what happened? That's how we're gonna introduce Willow to this session.
Do I see Willow?
If you do, you see her laughing.
Oh!
But do I see her?
You are facing this way, and the door's behind you. So you don't see it. You're just trying to regain your senses. You can't feel your hands. You don't appear to have been looted. You just feel extremely lightheaded. You're groggy. You don't feel very good at all.
Can I just lay back down for a bit?
Yes,
I'll
yes,
do
you
that.
may. All right. You have 1 level of exhaustion, by the way.
Also, I have a second girlfriend now.
Who?
This girl we met at his house, she has really pretty hair.
I will kill her. What was her name?
Irina.
Irina.
Ireena.
Yeah.
I will find her and kill her.
No. Kind of sort to protect her. A little bit. I don't think I'm doing very well at that, though.
You know what? Why do I care? We can be in an open relationship.
What is this game?
I mean, you do
So
realize
when
this
we
is, like,
come in,
for our mutual benefit.
do we
and not
notice that
be
she
a
looks off, or are we
relationship,
just like she's taking a nap?
You would immediately notice that
Yeah.
Melanthios looks low.
Well, Luke's notices right away that the door.
You
has
also
been
notice that the door is
broken
gone.
out. Yeah.
Both doors are
It
gone.
must be so confusing for you guys, because, like, otherwise it's pretty much the same how you left, just Melanthios is laying on the floor and the door is gone.
And the door's gone.
The door's both of them.
And,
now.
like, you walk in the room, and you see, like, his crossbow hooked up to the ceiling. Nailed to the floor. And the trapdoor is completely destroyed, like smithereens. Like, it's gone.
I just look around everywhere, and then I look back at them, and I'm like, "We did."
And Luke looks at the wolf tongue and his hair rises.
Oh.
Oh.
Luke's is concerned.
That's
But-
sketch, Melanthios. What are you doing?
Melanthios, who appears to be unconscious at the moment.
Do we notice the writing on her or on his arms?
How far do your sleeves cover?
They're actually pretty far down.
Okay. You might be able to see the beginnings of something on his hands, but you would be more taken by the fact that he looks extremely anemic for a dark elf. Like, he is almost snow-colored. Like, he's like the color of your slippers right now.
Oh no!
Like, that's not a good color for a drow, okay? It's a really bad color for a drow. Drow shouldn't be that color.
For some reason, I'm kind of pale in some of my art, but whatever.
Well, no, like, I'm saying even more so.
Yeah.
Like, it's going from, like, that nice, soft, lavendery gray to, like,
Yeah.
a legit, like, whitish gray. Like, there's no
Yeah.
undertone to this. You were just, like, a black and white film. As a film student, I made myself happy by saying that. You're a black and white film now.
Wow. And pink.
And pink. We don't talk about the pink. No, just the life just left his hair. It was just... His hair is white now, like a drow should be. No kidding.
Can I just kind of, like,
Can you have like a white patch? You're so anemic. You have like a white patch now.
wow.
You're so pale.
No, I'm serious.
I
Like,
want a white patch in my hair.
Like Percy!
Alright, fine, let's have a white patch in my hair.
There's just one...
One strand.
One-
Like Anna.
like very
like
skunk-
Anna.
like a skunk aesthetic though.
No,
is what
not
I
not
was
not the
No!
center.
It's on the side.
Because it's actually woven into one of the braids that you have going back.
And people are gonna assume that's the only piece of hair that isn't dyed.
Yeah,
Little
when
do
in
they
actuality-
know. Okay, but yeah, I can just like, eh.
Okay, so Luke
Eh.
goes up and says, and shakes him.
Okay.
Ah!
Cleric walks up, shakes. Hey, you dead? Poke,
Like-
poke.
Melanthios!
Like I said, and
What happened?
things.
Where's Doru?
What's the priest doing right now?
The priest came in last. When he sees this destruction, he runs down into the basement, into the cellar, looks around, runs back up, and takes off.
Help.
Not today, Satan.
I love how Willow just, not today, Satan. I'm imagining Willow eating a quesadilla. Like, she just has a quesadilla.
It's
Like,
canon.
yeah, like, Willow just walks up the quesadilla, watches the priest put out, and then just, not today, Satan, and keeps eating.
Help.
Okay, so can I do a prayer of healing?
Turning into Percy.
How is this happening?
When Nicole DMs a game, everyone turns into Percy. But I want to know, how you guys set out to go and find Madame Eva.
Where are we right now?
You guys, right now, are in this church right here. You went to visit Irina, who her adopted father had died, so you guys decided to go and bury him because no one else would. And as it turns out, the priest's son was a vampire, so Melanthios freed him, and now he's running loose. So that's
I don't
fun.
pay attention for like 5 seconds and y'all are off doing charity work.
Why did
Well, it kind of happened because Melanthios told this elaborate story that involved getting compensation for burying this.
What did I tell you about lying, Melanthios?
I very weakly pull out like the piece of silver from my pouch. I just don't have the energy to talk, but I just show it to Willow.
Can I like try and take the piece of silver?
Oh my gosh!
I'm just saying, Melanthios is very weak right now.
I will bite you.
Wait, are you trying to do this without anyone noticing?
Is this interaction a very public interaction when
Yes.
you did that?
Everyone is
Yeah.
sitting around. Like, Luke's is kneeling right next to him casting Cure Wounds.
Oh,
And
shit.
I was just like,
Which is the only reason that he showed you the money, because he knew you would not be able to take it in the situation.
Yeah.
unless you literally attack me in front of everybody.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yet.
No, I'll attack you in private.
That's what I'm saying. Yet.
Oh.
In my dazed state, I kind of glance at the writing on my arm, and I remember Willow writing on me before. I'm like, what is this? What? And then I remember what happened. I'm like, oh no, that's not it. My goodness.
What does that sound?
Means something about boys leaving.
Oh boy. Or should I say no boy?
Stop.
No!
Ah.
So you have 1d8 there, you can just roll it twice because we don't have any other ones handy. So roll it twice, add them together, and that's how much healing Melanthios gets.
8. Die.
Yep.
Okay, so 8 combined.
Okay, Melanthios, you recover 8 temporary hit points.
So that means I have 9.
Nope. With your core. Core. Temporary hit points.
Oh, temporary. Okay. Woo. Woo.
Are you alive now?
Yeah.
I mean, more conscious.
I sit up and I say, don't tell his dad. And I'm still kind of dazed. I'm like, don't tell his, I'm like, you know, like the Jack Sparrow kind of just like, don't tell his dad, but there might be a vampire kid somewhere.
What I love is that
We did!
what I love is that Donovic is already gone looking for his kid.
Great job, Melanthios.
Oh, okay.
Let's find red hair.
Red hair?
Yeah, red.
Irina!
Yes. Let's find her.
Okay.
Dark. We need leave.
We have finished the burial, so we can do that now.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Okay. Ready, guys? And girls?
Girl. Yeah, I nod and I just dazedly follow you guys because I'm still like weak and traumatized on so many levels.
Okay. So I start walking out, hoping people follow.
I follow.
Okay.
Me too.
Let's find sleep.
That's what Melanthios says.
Or
It's
food.
still like
Didn't you
early
just
in the
sleep?
evening.
Like, weren't you just knocked out on the ground?
Oh yeah. Let's find red hair.
I
Okay.
draw 7 or 8.
Priest, say
Yeah,
Take-
7 or 8 still.
to Krisk.
Kresk. Let's go, Kresk. Red hair, Kresk. E.
Okay.
There's a place called Krisk, and we keep saying Krisky.
Now Kresk is the abbey, right? The Kresk is the abbey.
You don't know where Kresk is.
Okay.
You don't have a map.
Yeah, so I initially I'm following I follow Luke's out of the building, but then once I'm out of the building, I just start stumbling in the direction of Irina's house.
Alright. You guys make it there. What do? Do you knock on the door? Do you just enter? What do you do?
Enter.
Okay.
Because he's still dazed and he's in the front.
You walk in, and Irina turns around. She whips out the dagger that you gave her. Her brother is actually with her currently. Ismark. You recognize him, actually, as the gentleman that was in the Blood of the Vine Tavern with you at 2 or 3 in the morning. He was actually stumbling off to bed when you came in. And they both sort of look at you, and Irina looks alarmed at first, then she realizes it's you and goes, "Oh, you look awful. What happened?" And she puts the sword away, and she sort of like walks over towards you. Ismark puts out his arm.
Me or Luke's?
She walks towards you, Melanthios. Ismark puts out his arm, puts his hand out towards you, and says, "And who are these people? Who are you?"
I kind of ignore the brother, and I'm just like, oh, Irina, I'm so glad you're safe. Close the door, lock the door.
Lock the door. Your party is still outside.
Oh,
Lock the door.
Wait, come, bring these people in and lock the door.
I hop in making bat noises.
Oh my gosh.
I come in knowing the familiar scent of the guy, so I'm not concerned.
Okay. He is concerned by you. Because he was leaving when you guys came in. And then he's like, sort of like, looks, and he's like, right. And he knows you, actually. You two were chatting it up a little bit while they were off doing whatever. You know that he is Ismark, Irina's brother. What else do you know about him? Where is he? He has information that he can give you. Where is it? I hate this book. Okay. Yeah, you guys just sort of basically talked about, Irina and Strahd, and the weird thing where Vistani, which is what he is, you realize, and the people that brought you here, how they're able to leave Barovia because they have souls. A lot of people in Barovia don't. Souls here seem to be recycled. There seems to be a constant pattern of the same people recurring. And he mentions to you that Irina was found. No memory of her past. She was a young girl. And it appears that Strahd is obsessed with her. And Ismark knows that she actually bears some resemblance to Strahd's first love, who was a redhead named... Oh, what's her name? I usually know this. Like, off the top of my head, I usually know what her name is. I completely forgot. That's really sad. I'm really sad. There it is. Oh, Tatiana. So, that is what you know. Because you spoke with Ismark.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to keep the name straight in my head.
You're good. So, you guys are all back safely in the Burgomaster's
How
home.
close am I to Ismark?
Oh, maybe 10 feet away.
No, I mean, like,
Oh,
from our conversation, am I, like, a friend, or are we, like...
it depends. Roll a persuasion check. Just give me a persuasion check.
Is that what it's...
Because. Roll a d20 plus a persuasion. And since you're a bard, your persuasion should be pretty high. So.
Sorry.
You're good.
Had to find the right D20.
You're good.
That's 11.
Okay.
Shoot. I have my page open.
You're good.
Persuasion.
Wow.
6.
Fantastic. So that's 17 persuasion. See, I told you were good at persuading people. Yeah, so he is thoroughly convinced that you, because he's heard of adventurers coming through Barovia before, and typically they don't succeed, but there's something about you and the talk that you have with the rest of your party that he thinks you might be able to do something. He thinks you might be able to help her. So he believes that you're friendly. He trusts you. He trusts the party because of you.
Okay.
And he will...
So can I just, like, walk up to him, give him a nice little, like, handshake, and introduce my people?
You most certainly can. And as you do this, Ismark visibly lowers his guard. And he looks extremely relieved. He goes, "Thank you for coming. We were worried. You took a long time. Are you alright? Here, sit down." And he sort of brings you, Melanthios, over to a chair, sits you down, feels your forehead, looks concerned for a minute, and then goes and stands back by Irina. "I've heard that you are able to help my sister."
Yes, the priest at the church advised us that the safest place right now would be at the abbey. So
Good. I can show you how to get there. He rummages around and he pulls out a map and he shows you on the map.
I think we should trust the priest.
He shows you how to get. He points out the abbey. He tells you, yes, the abbot of St. Markovia. He will know what to do. He can help.
Markovia? Or?
Markovia.
Okay.
Markovia. And he looks at you and he goes, "Have you seen Madame Eva?"
We have not yet.
Okay. You're planning to go?
Yes.
Good. She's the one to go to for adventuring bands. You're not the first who've tried to come through. If you've gone to see the priest Donovic, then you know past adventurers who have failed. At midnight, they'll rise from their graves and they wander the town, hoping for some sort of relief, maybe.
Melanthios is overhearing this for the first time and is taken aback.
But I've spoken with your friend, Sam here. Because we all know that happened. And she said that you're different. I believe her. You can help. You can bring light back to Barovia. I think helping my sister is a part of that. And Irina sort of looks off to the side and nods. She kind of massages her throat a little bit where the lace choker hides the scars from Strahd's bite.
We have so much in common, Irina.
Ismark's head swivels over to you, fixes on you and goes, What do you mean?"
Just, we both have beautiful hair. you know.
And he looks at you and he goes, that is true.
Oh! I'm like visibly puffed up a bit.
Oh. I ship it. What?
But Irina first.
I mean first.
And Luke's is thinking, yes, I believe the gods have sent us here for a purpose.
Wow, you're even more religious than I am.
Good.
I'm like a fallen religious person.
Accurate. It's been too long since we've had gods in Barovia. Gods that would do anything. Going to the abbot. He'll help. I think he'll help. Please.
I trust so.
Thank you. And he runs his hands through his hair. You can tell he's looking pretty stressed about this entire endeavor.
Just come up to him and just like pat,
You
small
can.
child.
He appreciates it. You can tell he relaxes a little bit. Takes a breath. As long as you can keep my sister safe, I believe you should take her to the abbey. But not tonight. It's dark. It's dangerous. Please rest. Regain your strength. You can head out in the morning.
Melanthios kind of puts his head on the table.
And just is out immediately.
Yeah. I just like nod.
Cool.
And I pull the others aside and say, not Melanthios because he's sleeping, but the other ones. And I say...
Because we all know how good of a plan it is to leave Melanthios alone, sleeping or not.
And I say to Willow and Cuckoo, I think we're pretty safe here for tonight. I don't think we have to worry.
I mean,
I like how she looks at me. Like sidelong, shifty eyes.
Can
I
do
feel
the
like we should
wisdom
have a watch,
thing?
though.
Can I do like wisdom type?
You want to do insight? You can insight,
Yeah,
Ismark.
Okay. 7.
Okay. He seems honest. He seems more fervent than the rest of the people you've encountered thus far. He seems genuinely concerned for his sister, and he does seem to believe that you are the ones sent to help.
I think that we should go out. Not all of us, but some of us should go out and scan this, is it like an alley, this wherever we're taking her tomorrow. And whatever's dangerous in the night, like, you should be prepared, you know?
I agree. We have several hours before midnight, which is when we should be indoors.
Yes.
But we have several hours, so we could do that.
I feel like we should, like, check it out before we go and try and bring somebody through it and put them in danger.
Yes.
What are you doing?
We're going to scout out the abbey.
You are nowhere near the abbey. There is no abbey in this town. The only religious building that you seem to have seen is the church. The abbey is in
It's way
Kresk.
out here.
Yeah, Kresk.
Oh, Chris.
Kresk is actually... Let's see, which letter is it? I can't read upside down. Kresk is S?
Yes.
Kresk is all the way over here.
Oh.
You guys are right here.
Oh.
You guys need to go all the way over here.
I don't think we can make it that far.
Not in a night, no.
Hey, we should find a map so we know where we're going.
Ismark gave you a map.
Oh, right.
Stay here at night. Keep watch.
Do we trust our hosts to keep watch, or should we do that?
We do that.
I agree.
Our host needs sleep too, though.
I'll help Irina.
Of course.
Oh, just in his sleep, just suddenly Melanthios stirs, sensing plans being made, and goes, I'll help Irina, and just goes right back to sleep.
I think that 2 of us should stay awake and the 2 of them should go to sleep. Because if we are awake, we have control. If they are awake, they have control. Yeah, which is why only 2 of us should be awake.
Wait, you mean me and you?
2
Yeah,
in shift.
it's okay. You'll get it second shift.
I'd also like to point out that you 2 are elves. You only need 4 hours of sleep as opposed to 8.
Okay.
Congratulations, you're staying up with me.
She's probably gonna draw on you again.
No, but like this is actually consistent because I'm saying up with her.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of drained though.
Also, Irene will be asleep, and she might not notice if I take her hair.
No.
No.
Why not?
You were like,
She's gonna do it,
No.
whether if you, no matter what you try to do, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. We do that.
Okay. You two are keeping watch?
yes.
So what I'm gonna have you do, just for ease of things, one of you roll whichever one of you has better perception, roll perception, and the other will assist. So you'll get to roll with advantage. So roll a d20 twice and take the higher.
I have a 2 perception.
Me too.
Okay. Melanthios, you are out of it, so you're gonna assist her in watching.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't even.
That was cocked. Roll it
Yeah.
again.
17.
Roll again, just in case of getting a 20.
15.
Okay. So with a 17, you watch. Oddly enough, I mean, you hear the occasional like sounds of outdoor wildlife. You hear crickets once in a while.
How asleep is everybody else?
They're sleeping.
We should see if there's something fishy in here. Scope out like the rest of it.
That's a good plan.
Melanthios was extremely out of it. Like he's literally drained
Yeah.
as he's just dazedly following you around.
I have like no self
What are my
awareness.
surroundings?
You are in the house of the burgomaster. It's a nice house. It was sort of decrepit, but at one point it had apparently been very lavish. But like the rest of Barovia, it's fallen into decay. There's a couch. You notice that there's some dust has been shifted in the corner. Apparently there's a box or some other sort of something there. Your party would have informed you that they had buried the burgomaster earlier. You assume that's where the coffin had been sitting. There's a table. There's some cheap silverware,
No
some cheap
books or
dishes.
papers.
No.
Upon seeing the dust, I am briefly inform Willow. By the way, if anybody asks, I work for the burgomaster.
What?
It's a long story, but I work for the burgomaster. I'm his something. I work for him.
For a second, I thought you were going to say secretary, and I was going to lose it. The burgomaster's secretary.
I'm the executor of his estate, I'm pretty sure.
You are not. You are not stealing a dead man's estate.
I might already kind of started doing that.
He's kind of already in the ground.
And I kind of already got paid for it, too.
Willow is broken. She's just broken. At the
Can I
mention-
twist like Melanthios' ear? Like, not enough to hurt, but like just enough to start dominant.
Oh my god.
Sure.
I'm too out of it to fight back much.
Here, actually,
Much.
roll an attack.
Wow.
It won't do damage. I just want to see if you're actually able to get him.
13.
That hits. Yeah. So you reach over and you just twist his ear a little bit. And elf ears are relatively sensitive, so it hurts. It doesn't do anything. It just hurts like the dickens. And you two continue on. Nothing seems out of the ordinary for the rest of your watch. Who's taking next watch?
I am.
Okay. So
You're not taking much together?
We probably should, since you all.
Yeah, okay.
who has higher perception of this group?
Where's Irina
I have
sleeping?
4.
In her bedroom.
I
Okay.
sleep outside of it.
Okay,
By the
that's
door.
creepy.
That's really creepy.
Outside of it.
So Luke's, go ahead and roll perception with advantage. Because Cuckoo would be considered to be assisting you.
And then advantage is the.
You roll it again.
Oh, okay.
Take the higher of the two numbers. So what's that?
That's a 15.
Okay.
11.
Okay. So you take the 15. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Again, you hear some nighttime noises, just general Barovian eeriness. Nothing particularly stands out to you. And the night passes without much effect. You are all back to full health. You have all your spells back. Melanthios, you are back to your maximum hit point level. You're also back to full health. You do not have your temporary hit points anymore.
So 24.
Yeah, you're at 24 health with 24 hit points maximum. And you do not have the 8 temporary HP anymore.
Okay.
So, And as morning dawns, Irina and Ismark come out of their respective rooms. Irina trips over you. And she seems kind of put out by the fact that she tripped over you. She apologizes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean it was an accident. Are you okay? And she sort of reaches down and feels your forehead. Who are resuming with Ismark to make breakfast. For you guys, it's a simple Barovian breakfast. There's not really a lot of fruit involved. There's some, like, dried bread. There's a couple pieces of, like, jerky, almost, that they've been keeping.
I eat the jerky. Better than wolf tongue.
Yeah.
I eat the jerky only. Some of it.
Alright.
And I eat some of the other food too.
I don't eat.
Oh, you no longer have, that level of exhaustion. That's gone now.
Yeah.
You don't eat?
Yeah, it's food from strangers, y'all. It's sketch.
But they're nice.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. If you don't eat, you will take a level of exhaustion.
I guess I eat them.
Okay. It doesn't really taste like the best food you've ever had. I mean, it's okay.
This was wonderful, Irina. Thank you for breakfast.
Thank you for helping us. I'm not sure about this journey, but I trust that it will go well.
Keep my dagger with you at all times.
I will, thank you. So with that, you guys leave the house, and I presume you head down the road.
Yep. And looks at Melanthios and thinks, well. You're letting her keep the dagger without anything in return.
Investment, my friend. Investment.
That's what you say. I don't know if I believe you fully.
Melanthios isn't exactly sure what's happening either.
Aggressively Lenny faces at Melanthios. So, you guys go out on the road?
Yep. Yes.
Alright. So, you guys travel along the road. Where are we? Oh, we're over here. Travel along here. And as you travel, the landscape starts to get slightly more green as you start to hear the rushing of water. This and it gets louder and louder as you continue to walk. And you realize that up ahead, there is... You realize that there's a river ahead of you. And you check the map that Ismark gave you, you realize it's the River Ivlis. And the river is beautiful. It looks almost like the winter sky. It's a very clear blue. It looks fresh and cold and wonderful. Like, this is the best thing you guys have seen in Barovia to date. This is a wonderful river.
I walk up there and I go splash around like the little way birds do, just kind of flapping around in there.
I wash my hair.
You wash your hair. Alright, Marcus washes his hair.
I go in there and wade in a little bit and just start drinking beautiful water.
Alright.
Do I have something to put water in?
You would probably have a water skin.
I fill that up.
Willow is like the only
And then
practical
I-
person.
That was smart.
Yeah, I fill that up and then I get on you guys for not filling yours up.
Alright.
Because now it has Melanthios' dirty hair in it.
My hair is clean.
It's clean
I'm
now.
just saying, like, I don't want to drink the stuff that came out of your scalp.
No. I also fill up some water,
Okay.
seeing that Willow has done this.
Yeah, me too.
Alright.
Trendsetter.
And I guess, and as soon as I'm done drinking, I don't feel like it, but I guess I follow along.
Peer pressure. The wolf is succumbing to peer pressure. Pack tactics. Yep. So
Let's go.
All right. You cross the river without a problem. There's a bridge. It's a sturdy bridge. It's a nice. It's a surprisingly nice bridge. Like in Barovia, they don't usually have bridges this nice, but it's a nice bridge.
How
So-
high is it?
It's high enough to prevent the bridge from being covered when the river floods.
But it's not like a high.
It's not like a spectacular work of architecture or anything. It's just like a solid wooden bridge. I don't like that look, but we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
So you guys cross the river without any problems. And then you come to a crossroads. And here at the crossroads, you see another set of gallows that's creaking slightly. in the breeze. And the wind is coming from the west at this point. There's a little bit of rope dangling from it. Doesn't appear to be a noose on it at this point. But this road, once it hits the gallows, actually splits in two paths. There's a well-worn road that says Barovia Village, back the directions that you came, Ser Pool to the northwest, and Ravenloft/Valaki off to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across from the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of graves shrouded in fog.
Can you, like, briefly describe it again? So wait, so how many roads are there?
So you have the road that you guys came from. Here, let me show you on the map. So you guys have the road that you guys came from. There's a sign pointing back towards Barovia. There's a sign pointing back towards Barovia.
Yeah.
There's a sign pointing up this way towards Ser Pool.
Okay.
And there's a sign pointing this way that says Ravenloft/Valaki.
That's a sketchy road, right?
Irina seems nervous when she reads the word Ravenloft.
What, the brother's name is Ishmael?
Ismark?
Ismark.
And he is not with you.
Oh, okay. I asked Irina, which is the best road to get to Kresk?
If we're going to see Madame Eva, then we need to go to the Ser Pool. I'm not going to Ravenloft. I'm not going down that road.
Hey, calm down. Nobody said we were going down that road. What are you scared of?
Strahd von Zarovich lives in Castle Ravenloft. I've been there twice.
You were invited there, or you were brought there?
I was
against
taken.
Willow?
I don't remember much, but I remember his eyes. Glowing red eyes. And she shakes her head and covers her face with her hands for a moment.
We should probably get away from this place before dark.
However, as she says this,
Shoot.
everyone just groans collectively. I love it. You notice the forest around you has begun to move slightly.
Oh!
You see this...
We did!
That's encouraging.
Yeah, I'm not doing this pessimistic attitude, Cuckoo. Knock it off.
Here is my love language!
There we go. So,
You're trying to scare our new friend.
you start to see a few trees actually shift out of place. Just making this sound, and the branches rattle, this clacking sort of against each other. 4 of them approach. And you also see, very faintly, ahead of you is a very... At first you almost thought it was a bush, but it's a very gaunt figure. It has wild hair and bare, very thin hands and feet, smeared with mud and grass stains and leaves. You actually can't tell if it's a man or a woman, but as it approaches, it stops and sniffs the air and starts laughing like a lunatic. And as it does this, the creatures that it travels with lurch forward and attempt to attack you. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Ow.
Second time. Second time around this. I roll 3.
I just rolled a 2.
7.
What is that?
13.
13.
Good job.
Alright, hold up. Where's my
I've
paper?
been rolling pretty decent tonight, y'all.
I
I did really well on magic.
just rolled very poorly.
25 to 20? Okay, 20 to 15. 15 to 10.
13.
13. Okay. 10 to 5?
Yes. 7.
7? Okay.
Me and Cuckoo are just like,
5 to 1?
Oh, shoot!
What'd you guys get?
3.
2.
What's your initiative modifiers?
Oh.
Oh, I didn't
Oh.
know that.
Wait, what?
You have initiative
Where
modifier.
is
Oh,
that?
5!
Wait,
I got a
what?
6.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
mine it's 3, so 5 combined.
Oh, mine's
five.
3, so I was at 13, 16.
16.
I
Alright.
was 6.
Luke's?
1. Okay. Okay, I have 8.
Okay. Alright, and now it's their turn. So, there's my 30-20. Oh, that's really bad for you guys.
Shoot.
You tried.
We lingered too long. I'm so sorry.
You were comforting, Arena.
I mean, at least I'm not saying you're dead.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair. Alright, and... Oh! Rip. Rip you guys.
Are they rolling high? That's what's happening.
The
right?
druid just rolled a nat 20.
No!
Okay, and then we have...
Dirt person!
I'm not a
Second
fan.
time
Okay.
I fought a really skinny thing.
So, top of the round, the druid is going to go, and I don't have the druid stats! So I'm gonna grab those real fast. Hey, druid. Awesome. So the druid's gonna go first, and it is going to use
What is that?
its... What? No. No, that's the monster manual picture. It's going to have an unarmed attack. And it's going to attack... What order were you guys walking in? Oh, I didn't roll for Irina. Irina rolled an 18. How about that? She goes before all you guys.
I was next to Irina.
I'm
and
gonna
Willow.
say that I was in front somewhere.
I was
Okay.
pretty close to Melanthios, wherever Melanthios was.
Okay.
I feel bold enough to go in the front.
So what if it's like Willow, then
Luke's, where are you?
You should be next to me. You're my friend.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
right up there, right behind
We
you.
were holding hands.
Okay.
who was holding hands?
Okay. So, the druid is going to take a swipe at you, Willow.
Yes.
And rolls a 6. That is a... Yeah, that's a 6, so that misses. So this maniacally laughing creature comes bounding up to you. And it reaches forward and lashes out at you. And yeah, you just nimbly just out of the way.
Sassy.
Yeah, totally. It's now Irina's turn. Irina is going to hide behind you. Because she's not having any of that today. So that's Irina's turn. It is now the Blight's turn. So,
What is a blight?
it's this, like, really... It looks almost like... You guys have seen Lord of the Rings. You know Treebeard?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
No.
Well, there's, like, this tree person.
A tree person.
It's, like, a really, really scrawny,
ants?
spindly version of a tree person.
Okay.
So, there's 4 of them, and it's their turns.
Oh no. All of them?
Yep.
Oh no.
That's a 3. That misses. That was it, you. 13 was it... Let's see, that's a... Oh, actually... that becomes... What's your armor class?
My armor class? 13.
Okay, it still misses. What's your armor class?
16.
Okay, that hits. So, this whoosh with this, like, clattering of branches. Willow dives out of the way. Luke's, you immediately get brained by this twig blight that just out of nowhere completely blindsides you because she actually stepped back out of the way and it just nails you on the side of the head. You take...
I'm
oh,
just picturing this really
mercy.
sad puppy yelp.
Yes. Oh, mercy. That is so many dice. Oh, mercy. 9. You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And I did not say it was using multi-attacks. That's going to end its turn. Cuckoo, this is at you. That's a 17 to hit. What's your armor class?
Oh, 13.
Okay, that hits. You take...
Where's my triangle?
10 damage, bludgeoning damage, as this twig blight, the second twig blight sort of shambles forward. It almost reminds you, with the way that they move, it almost reminds you of the shambling mound that you fought at the very end of Death House. Just with it's sort of like lurching
Just don't
motion.
eat me.
Yeah, it rings out and it slams its arm on top of you, practically smushing you into the ground for a minute before you shove it off of you and dust yourself off. The third twig blight is going to... Alright. So, Melanthios.
Yes.
That's a 15 that hits. So you take... Oh, crap. 4, 6, 8. You take 8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
It rolled a nat 20 against Irina.
No.
Can I step in the way?
Can I step in the way?
As a reaction? It would either be her or Cuckoo. You're not close enough. Technically, you're the only one next to her. So if you were going to do it, it would be this.
Me?
Is that what you're doing?
Wait, who are you talking to?
You.
I can step in the way?
Yeah.
Can I step in the way with my dagger pointed out? Or I'm not my dagger. With something pointed out? No. Oh. No. I made a vow, so I'm gonna step in the way.
Alright. You take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, cool! I'm dead!
Again?
Are you unconscious or dead? There's a difference.
Oh, you know how I have 16 hit points right now, right? Because you just didn't...
I gave you 10 damage.
Oh. Well, I did... Okay, so I started with 24. I thought you gave me 8 damage.
Oh yeah, 8 damage at first.
So 24 take away 8 is 16.
Okay, and then you took another 16 points of damage. So yeah, you're unconscious, you're not dead.
I'm unconscious.
She's gonna die again.
So what happens is
What the heck?
this tree blade shambles forward, and it swings down, and it bats Melanthios, and he sort of staggers to the side. It comes down again for Irina. Melanthios hurls himself in the way, and actually gets batted into another tree. There's a snap sound, and Melanthios just crumples at the base of the tree as Cuckoo
I just
screams.
scream.
That was all 4 blights. Luke's, it's your turn.
Like, this is like gonna be the 4th time I've died this.
Sometime it has to end. It has to end at some point.
I'm not doing any of this on purpose.
Life needs things to live.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do the sanctuary.
What is sanctuary and how
Warn
long?
a creature within range against attack.
Okay, who are you doing it on?
Melanthios.
Okay,
Isn't it too late for me?
depends. I mean, you found out if a creature attacks you while you're down, you automatically fail a death save. And this is Barovia. Creatures have no problem with hitting you while you're down.
Yeah.
You guys are still level 4, right?
Yep.
You guys have, like, no health for level 4. I'm disappointed with you.
Oh, 30.
Oh, Melanthios, because Melanthios is a rogue. You're a bard. You have a ton of health. So you cast Sanctuary on Melanthios? Okay. Is that an action or a bonus action?
Oh, look it up.
I'm just trying to see if you can do anything else on your turn, basically.
Okay.
Sanctuary. Sanctuary!
Sanctuary.
It takes a minute to cast. It's a bonus action, but it takes a minute to cast, which means it will take 10 rounds of combat for you to be able to finish casting this.
This is wise.
So, do you want to cast Sanctuary, or do you want to do something else?
Let me look.
Alright. While you look, I'm going to...
There is a spare the dying thing spell. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points.
You could run over to Melanthios and cast that on him.
Okay.
Alright, so you're gonna...
And the creature becomes stable.
Yeah, which means he wouldn't have to make death saving throws. He'd be unconscious, but he wouldn't have to make death saving throws.
I can do that then.
Okay, so Melanthios, you are stabilized.
Thank goodness.
And you still have the bonus action. I don't think you can do anything. I don't think you have any bonus action spells. I could be wrong. You could start trying to cast Sanctuary if you wanted because it's a bonus action.
Okay. I can do that then.
Melanthios, because you are unconscious, I'm going to pass this over to you. So, you get to choose, because you're unconscious and won't be able to do anything, you can choose 3 cantrips, either from, you can choose cantrips from either sorcerer, warlock, or wizard spell lists. So, I'm going to pass this over to you. You can read through those if there's any that you like.
This is for me.
Yes, cantrips. You can choose 3 total from sorcerer, wizard, or warlock, and you can do that because you're unconscious right now and can't do things.
What level?
Cantrip.
Sorcerer.
wizard warlock. It's now Melanthios' turn. He's stable, but he's unconscious. Cuckoo, it's your turn.
Alright.
Did we have your turn, Willow?
I was gonna say no.
When did you take your turn? You go
I
now.
was 18.
You're 16 here. Irina was 18. Because you rolled a 13 and your initiative's +3.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Oh, that's why, because I have the blights written in here. Yeah, so go ahead and take your turn.
Okay, I have a question. What am I next to? Because there are a lot of
You're
things.
next to a twig blight and a druid.
Those twig.
It's like it's a skinny tree it's like a spindly tree person and this animal-like humanoid.
I would like to attack with my longsword, the twiggy thing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Is that D20?
Yes, roll your d20 plus your attack modifier.
Ah.
Laura can show you what.
Oh shoot.
That is.
That's a 3 plus attack.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It would be with your longsword. It would show you what.
Oh shoot, you're right. 4.
So you reach up to slash at this twig blight, and it just misses. You are dual wielding, so you can take another attack.
Can I only attack with my one sword, or do I have to pick like some?
No, you have 2 long swords in each hand because that's what you're dual wielding with. So you can go ahead and roll your other attack for your longsword.
16
That hits.
plus the 4.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Is that also D20?
No, that would be whatever. Can you help her?
It is. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
where?
I
What
can't
is it?
see. It's a
choose-
D8. It's a D8 plus 2
Oh,
slashing thing.
Oh, nice. So roll a d8 and then add 2.
I'm so sorry. I
No,
can't
no, you're good. You're good. Your hair is super cute, by the way.
see. Thanks. This is the 8. Yeah. 4 plus.
6.
Yeah. So it says slashing plus 1. So it says 1d8 plus 2, slashing plus 1.
Oh, okay. So +3. So it'd be you rolled a what?
4.
4,
Yeah.
7. So it'd be 7 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. So Cuckoo, now it's your turn.
Okay, so I mean,
Oh, as a
Do
bonus action, actually, you could inspire Cuckoo because you're a bard.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Go, Cuckoo, come on, you got this.
okay.
So Cuckoo, you gain your level 4 bard.
Yeah.
You gain oh, you have it.
Me?
Can I steal that real quick?
I thought you were
that's
putting it
the-
on me. I was
sorry.
like, I have nothing.
Close the book. Actually, you are really bad at this game. I gotta see what the inspiration die is for a bard at this level. Inspiration. It's a d6. Okay, so you gain a d6 of inspiration. I saved the page for you. Thank you. So I'm gonna toss this back over to you. So you can use that on any attack or for ability check.
Okay.
If you don't think it'll hit. Like, you have to use it before I tell you whether or not whatever you're trying to do works.
Okay.
So, for example, if you roll your d20 and to attack and it's like a 7, you'd be like, I'm going to roll my inspiration dice
Okay.
to try and boost that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's now your turn.
Okay. So, like, do I know if the druid is in charge of the
Yes.
tree creatures? So, is there any possibility that if we killed the druid, that like the tree creatures would just like die?
You don't know. You
Okay.
can certainly try.
All right. I am going to. Let's see. How far away am I from?
You're
the
far enough to
druid?
take a shot at it with your bow if you
All
wanted
right.
to.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Alright.
So the d20.
Right, d20 plus your bow attack mod.
Okay, it's a 10, and yeah. So it says +5, and then it says the.
Okay, so that's a 15. That hits. Go ahead and
Okay.
roll the damage.
All right. And which one is that?
Look at your sheet.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. It's the d6.
Okay.
And it says plus
It's
3.
a square one.
Yeah,
Plus-
I know. I'm looking
it's right
for it there. Yeah, and it says +3 piercing.
Okay, so 6 plus 3. Or whatever you roll plus 3. So 4. 4 damage. Nice. And with that, it is the druid's turn.
Uh-oh.
The druid, upon seeing this, that you shot it, and it's highly insulted. Okay, so this cackling druid recoils in pain as this bolt slams into its shoulder. Lets out this awful screeching sound, and with the momentum from it, shoots its hand forward as flames flicker across the tips of its fingers and come shooting towards you. I need you... Oh wait, no, I can just use this. That's a nat 20. So you take You take... Where's my d8? There it is. Alright, you take 4 fire damage.
Okay.
And that ends the druid's turn. It's now Irina's turn. And Irina, seeing that you were just knocked unconscious, is going to attempt to stab the twig blight with your dagger. It's a 15. It's a flat 15, and it hits. So, which dagger did you give her?
Oh gosh.
It was just, you have like 4. Was it a dagger that was a plus anything, or was it just a plain dagger?
It wasn't like my rat dagger. It was just it wasn't the short sword. It was like the basic one that I came with.
Okay, then she just does 3 damage to the blight. Alright, Willow, it's your turn.
I would like to attack with my longsword.
Go for it.
Yes.
You're a Bard College of Swords, so you should be able to do some
13.
cool. 13, you're attacking the twig blight?
Yes, I am.
Is that with or without your
That is
modifier?
without. My
Okay.
modifier is like +4 for longsword.
Plus your dex. So +4 for the longsword, so it's
Yeah.
13 plus 4? Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. And that's also d20.
Yeah, no,
No,
it's the d8. Yep.
Why do I keep doing that? Same thing. I know better. I'm not. That's a 6.
Alright, 6 plus 3.
3.
Alright. 6 plus 3, that's 9. Okay. And you carve with your wonderfully twirling blades, and you let out this sort of chipper sort of like whistle almost as you bring both blades across. Go ahead and roll your second attack, because as a College of Swords Bard, you get that.
Oh, that went far.
It's a 12.
A 12, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm trying to like get it to 2.
Alright, plus 3, 5.
I'm trying
So you take both of your blades and you twirl them around, and you twirl yourself actually in a very elegant, graceful sort of line, and slash both blades diagonally across its torso. You actually carve a chunk of bark off, and you to reveal the green bark underneath. It doesn't bleed, but it leaves like this like green sort of scar across the front of it.
I feel bad now.
It's not happy with you.
Oh.
This is at you. That's an 18. That hits.
Mm-hmm.
7 plus. You take 12 bludgeoning damage.
13, 30 minus 12. 28? No.
18.
18.
18.
Sorry, numbers are hard.
You're good.
Yeah.
Luke's, this is a that definitely hits. 4, 7. You take 7 bludgeoning damage as this wicked looking creature just slams down on you and smashes you for a second against the floor, and then lifts its arm, and it has some like wolf hair trailing in some of the bark because you have like this like abrasion gash sort of deal going on from it. It's brutal. These guys are all going together.
Oh, man.
Cuckoo, this is at you. That hits. They have a +9 to attack, guys. 7. 11. You take 11 bludgeoning damage, Cuckoo.
Oh crap! I am not in a very good situation right now.
You guys are never gonna get to Madame Eva. You guys are never gonna get to
I
Madame
am in
Eva.
very bad shape.
And with a terrified squawk, as this you attempt to avoid it because you're sneaky, but it's not enough, and this limb just comes slashing down towards you, and you skid a couple feet and just lie there sadly in the leaves. Oh, this is so sketchy. We really need music for this. Like, this is really, really sad.
So what happens if our entire party dies before we even like get into the game very far?
I don't know.
Plot twist. The girl's brother has to come save us.
This just appears.
I guess I was wrong.
I guess I was wrong. You people are idiots. I'm taking her home. And you're out of reach of the twig blades right now. So, is that Irina that hits? Ooh. Irina's down.
Like, how down?
Irina's unconscious.
Oh, shoot. Melanthios is unconscious.
What is unconscious? Cuckoo is unconscious, and
Well, no, I have 1 hit point.
Oh, you have 1 hit point.
I
You're not
do.
unconscious.
No,
I'm not unconscious.
I said I was in bad shape. I never
Oh,
said
I thought you said
was
you were.
out.
You said you were out, and I was like, oh, she's down.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have 1 hit point left,
Okay.
but I am very concerned.
Okay. That ends the Blade's turns. Luke, it's your turn. Your party is dying.
Okay, I've been doing the prayer of healing for Melanthios.
It's only been 6 seconds.
Okay.
Well, let me see. How many people went? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hasn't been a minute yet.
Okay. So can I attack and stuff?
Yeah, you can attack with your action, but as your bonus action, you would have to continue to cast.
I am wondering if I can be clever and do this warding bond where it wards a willing creature that you touch and creates a mystic connection between you and the target.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if I could somehow use that connection if I touch a tree and use it to fight.
That's not how it would work.
It would protect it.
Yeah, basically what would happen is if you do that, then if something takes damage, you share that damage with it.
but would it attack though?
If you're using one of the twig blights.
So it would continue attacking. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't do that then. I think I will then do the inflict wounds spell.
Alright, go for it.
And
Is that an attack roll or is it a spell save?
attack.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
That's 20.
Yep, roll your 20.
No. Fine.
Oh no! You go to cast this spell, and you concentrate on your target, and your eyes cloud over for a moment. But then Melanthios coughs next to you, and your gaze is averted, and you actually lower your hand, and the blast shoots off, and it leaves a scorch mark in the dirt. And it's terrifying that you did that much damage to the ground with a mist spell. Like, who knows how powerful it could have been if you had hit. Unfortunately, that ends your turn. Melanthios is unconscious. Cuckoo, it's your turn.
Okay. There's no way to, like, disengage or anything without taking damage,
You're a rogue.
right?
You can disengage as a bonus. You could attack it and then disengage and run away. That's what rogues do. That's the whole thing about rogues!
Okay, so I'm a terrible bird. But I really don't want to die right now. So I'm like, I feel bad for Melanthios, but hopefully, like, the spell's gonna kick in pretty soon and he'll be fine. But I'm going to shoot the druid again, and then I'm out of there.
Alright, go for it.
Okay, so that was a 6.
Plus...
Okay, yeah, it's plus the 5, but I think,
6 plus
can I
5 is
use
11.
my,
6 plus 5 is 11 that hits.
oh, okay.
So you are terrified. You're actually shaking as you do this. You take aim. And you're not sure for a minute if it's going to hit as you release the trigger, but you see the bolt sink into the druid's other shoulder. That's what this awful sort of sound as it recoils, and it sort of like scratches off the arrow, scratches it out of its arm, and it prepares itself for its next attack. As you proceed to actually bob and weave in between these tree blights, just booking it. Are you going back towards Barovia, or are you going towards the Sarah Pool?
I'm going backwards.
You're going back towards Barovia.
Yes.
Okay. It goes out of the initiative order. Alright, it's now the druid's turn. The druid is going to run up to you. And it's going to attempt a claw attack you. That's a natural one. So, it's about time. I've been rolling I rolled like, 6 nat 20s in this entire campaign so far? At least. So, this druid comes running up, and it goes to claw across your torso, Luke, but what ends up happening is that the pain from the arrow still embedded in its shoulder is actually shocking to it for a moment and actually just curls up on the ground in front of you. And that ends its turn. Irina is going to make her first death saving throw. And fails. Blake, wow. Willow, it's your turn.
I would like to do the same thing again.
Alright, go for it. Roll that d20.
Oh, that always happens to me. I can't tell what number that is.
It's a 6.
Yes, plus, I believe it was 4.
That doesn't hit, that's a miss.
Okay. Can I try again with my other arm?
Go for it.
Please be a stronger arm.
Oh, that's a stronger arm. That hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your damage of a d8 plus 3.
Oh. I
7?
can't see it.
7 plus
7.
3? It's a
Okay,
7.
It's 7. I thought it was a 1.
Alright. So, with
Sorry.
your twirling blades, you actually get a little carried away at first with how much fun you're having dancing around this tree blade, and you actually slice between 2 of its branches. You just hit air, and because you got no purchase, you actually swing around, twist the blade behind you, and jam it into this blight's body. And it doesn't really make any noise, but like the wind that creaks through its limbs makes more of a sort of sound, almost like
Please
it's
don't follow me.
angry. And that ends. Do you want to inspire anybody?
Okay. You're gone. You're almost. You left.
She booked it.
Yeah. I will inspire my good friend right here. And my only loyal friend since somebody just walked off.
Alright. So you gain a d6 of inspiration dice, which means you can use it either to boost an attack roll or to boost an ability check, depending on what it is. But you have to do it before I tell you the result of the roll. So that ends her turn. It's now the Blight's turn. This one's at you.
Oh, shoot.
That's a nat 20.
I think I'm gone then.
Let's...
How are we getting
12.
killed by
That's
trees?
24 points of damage.
I have 18 hit points, so.
Yeah, you're knocked unconscious. Willow's
Do I
unconscious.
just go down to 0, or do I
You go down to
really
0. You're not dead
make-
yet.
I'm glad I inspired you before I fell on.
Yeah, that would be useful.
Luke,
Save us all.
Luke, this isn't you. That's a natural 17. You take 13 points of damage. Bludgeoning damage.
I have 5.
Okay, you're knocked unconscious. So with 2 final resounding cracks, both Willow and Luke's go tumbling to the ground. They collapse completely as the sound of wolves begins to sound in the distance. This as this very strange, unearthly sound, especially at this time of day. It's about 10 in the morning. Begins to draw closer and closer and closer. None of you realize this, as you have all been taken by unconsciousness. But as these wolves begin to surround and circle Irina, a mist slips in through the forest. And through the mist, a man appears. A very handsome man. Well-shaped features, but cruel. Black hair slicked back, pointed ears, and a very, very thankful look in his crimson eyes. He picks up Iluna, leaving a note with a seal in her place, and vanishes. The wolves continue to circle for a little while. Then after a while, they sniff at you, Luke's especially. Then after a while, they tire, and they resume watching. And I really want to be like, and that's where we're going to end it for the night, but I don't want to do that.
I was gonna say, you better not end it like that.
That's what we're going to call it.
I was also thinking, yeah, that sounds like it, but yeah.
I mean, if you guys are done, I'll be ready to be done.
I'm
but-
not done.
Yeah, see, you just got here. Okay.
I'm so sorry I was late.
Not your fault.
I mean, I'd like to be alive again. Like,
I'm literally the only one who survived that.
Oh, so Cuckoo, you saw all of that happen.
Yeah.
You look from as you're like looking over your shoulder, you look, You see this man, he's very well dressed.
Yeah.
He's got...
Is it the same one as
It's
the
the
whole
same
welcome
one
to Barovia?
that welcomed
Yes.
you to
Okay.
Barovia.
Oh.
Yes, as you exited Death House, this man that appeared to you in a swarm of bats has now appeared through the mist.
Well, maybe it's a good thing I ran away and survived then, because now I can tell them what happened when they
Yes,
wake
you
up.
can. Yes, you can.
So you all should be glad I ran away.
After,
Cuckoo tries to redeem himself.
after several
Cuckoo
hours,
does.
after several hours of lying unconscious in the dirt, you all slowly come to, painfully. Everything hurts. You're covered in bruises and gashes and abrasions. There was so much pain. You didn't know it was possible to have this much pain going on at once for so long. Like, even though you guys were unconscious, you were, like, in pain as you were unconscious. It's awful. The Blights disbanded, I should mention, when the wolves entered. The Blights were like, I'm out. And the Druid was also. The Druid was actually attacked by a wolf at one point. Which was odd. Because you would have realized that it was a Druid. And animals don't attack Druids. So that was an odd occurrence.
When they wake up, I'm like on a low branch of a tree, just kind of hunched over like a raven or a vulture.
And that's terrifying at first because you guys are in Barovia, so you automatically assume it's a giant bird of, like, scavenging coming to feast on your flesh. So you're all immediately like, oh, God, I'm alive! As you all come to with 1 hit point. And it's now about 7 or 8 in the evening. It's starting to get dark.
I realize I'm a terrible person, but I kind of enjoyed that.
That was wonderful. I'm so proud of you guys.
Can I examine the seal or whatever?
Oh, you want to read the letter?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, and where are we with the prayer of healing?
The prayer of healing was ceased when you went unconscious.
Okay.
I have a fun story, guys. I don't have the letter prepared. Because I didn't think this would happen so bloody early in the campaign! You haven't even seen Madame Eva yet! I hate you so much!
We really did try so hard.
Actually decided to go to Madame Eva now.
I think that needs to be the name. They tried so hard. I honestly think that needs to be
Here
the
on this
name.
episode, they tried so freaking hard.
Literally, just name it that.
That was so sad. I'm really sad for you people. Where's Strahd's bloody letter? I don't even know where to find it.
Have
I'm
I
not
explained to
that
them what happened yet?
Did you? That's up to you.
Well, if they're willing to listen to me after I kind of freak them all out, then yes.
I hear this. Alright.
I'm willing to listen.
Okay.
Cuckoo's my friend.
So, man! Welcome to Barovia, man! Came! Bats! Man from Bats!
Man from
Came!
Drow?
Strahd! Strahd!
Oh my-
Came! Mist! Mist! The fog!
What
Wolves!
What happened to Irina?
Tucker! Strahd! Left note!
No! and he's just like you know, like
Wolves! Circled!
you know, when, like,
Attack Druid! Wolf! Attack Druid!
when, like, you know, like cockatiels get really excited, they start bouncing up and down. That's what he's doing on top of the note from Strahd. Like, he's even picked up. He's just like bouncing as he's telling you guys.
Okay, yeah, so I picked up the note.
All right. So you pick up the note. It's a very elegant seal on it. It's got the head of an eagle with the wings outstretched. It has a shield over top of where the torso of the eagle would be.
It's a little crumpled for me jumping
A
on
little
it,
crumpled, a
but-
little dirty. Got a couple little tears in it. It's fine. And it has the very elegant letter S in the center of the shield of the symbol. You open it, and it reads, "My friends, know that it is I who have brought you to this land, my home, and know that I alone can release you from it. I bid you dine at my castle, so that we can meet in civilized surroundings. Your passage here will be a safe one. I await your arrival. Your host, Strahd von Zarovich."
I have a plan, guys.
Do we have fancy enough clothes for this occasion?
Do you? You're a bard. You're fabulous to begin with.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't disguise
sounds a little sassy, a little demanding, kind of prima donna-ish.
Yeah.
We just can't show up looking like anything.
Okay.
And you're worried about clothes? This is Strahd.
No, but listen.
Okay,
this is what
but
we
if
can
we
do.
look like a bunch of bums who don't have their lives together, then you
Should
wouldn't
we
know we're a
even
bunch of
go
bums.
and accept the invitation?
Yes!
Madam Eva, maybe help.
We go to Madame Eva first.
And get clothes!
Sure. But this is okay. We go to Madame Eva, then we dress you up really nice, Willow, like really nice. And we use you as bait to seduce Strahd, and then
you.
That's
'Cause-
a valid point.
I thought you were supposed to be the most fabulous. Why did you jump to the assumption that I was the one who would be best suited for bait?
Because you have boobs. Did I say that out loud?
Okay, you are right. I am more fabulous. That might work better, and I'm way better at lying too. All
You're
right.
definitely not better at lying. You suck at lying.
Hey,
You
you're better
rolled a
than
nat
me,
20
so-
at that one time.
Yeah. He rolled a nat 20 convincing Irina that he was
Yeah,
the
it
burgomaster's
was-
estate owner.
It was kind of impressive.
Okay,
It was extremely
We dress
impressive.
me up, and you guys play all my servants, and after we go to Madame Eva's, we accept his dinner invitation, and we rescue Irina, and we kill him.
I don't think we should kill him.
Okay, well, do whatever you want with it. I don't care.
Wait
Well,
and
I'm
see.
We
Just
enslave him.
I don't think we should enslave
Well, what do
anyone.
you suggest?
Wait and see.
Send him to therapy?
Send him to therapy!
I
Yes!
can't even afford the therapy for you.
D&D!
Oh!
Oh!
Okay, wait, go.
Okay, yeah, let's go to Madame Eva's and then accept the invite, and
Yeah,
Rescue-
it's been a long time coming.
we should come up with a plan on like what to do with Strahd, but definitely rescue Irina, since I kind of vowed to do that, and I'll seduce Strahd, I guess.
And Madame Eva might have some advice.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And we can get clothes from her.
Has she been around the block a couple times? I'm confused. What type of advice are we getting?
Madame Eva's sketchy. I feel like such a DM, you guys. I have so many pieces of paper.
Is that what makes a good DM?
Yes!
Paper.
All the papers.
All of the paper!
Okay, let's go to Madame Eva. I pocket it.
Okay. Add a note from Strahd to your inventory. Alright, so you guys go to Madame Eva. Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. Cue up our music. Has to be quiet so that they can hear the recording. I'm sorry. I'm planning on getting a microphone for us, so.
That would be good.
Right. So the road that you're traveling gradually disappears and turns into more of a winding sort of like 2-track, almost like a deer path through the trees. But you can start to hear music, you can start to smell food, you can start in the very distance to see flickers of firelight, and it looks wonderful. It looks so good. So you quicken your pace, and your foot sore, and you just feel awful and bruised. And as you keep going, you realize that this 2-track is actually the ruts of wagon wheels. Very heavily laden wagon wheels at that. There were footprints following along the side. This was a large band of people. And the canopy of mist and branches and darkness actually gives way suddenly to a very cheerful encampment. There's a very clear, shimmering lake as the moon starts to rise. There's a very clear lake that just glitters and sparkles like a diamond. And there's 5 very colorful tents, just sort of strewn around this area. They're bright and they're fun, and there are children that sort of like scamper around. There's women tending the fire, men tending the fire, men and women drinking and smoking, relaxing around, just lounging. There are a couple of them playing the card game off to one side. There's actually also an accordion, and several people singing. It's quite a merry band of travelers. One man by the fire is entertaining a group of children with a story. As you approach, you hear him, and he says, "A mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where... Oh!" And he points and he gestures to you. Several. How many of you are there? I decided that I fear. 4 of you. Where's the 4 of you? He goes, right where they were standing, as a matter of fact. Please come in, warm yourselves by the fire. You look like you have had a terrible day. Wine for the newcomers. And
I just like Strahd, wolves, druid, trees.
Is that so? It's a great class. I like it. And he sort of like pats you on the beak. And then you can tell he's kind of drunk. He's a little drunk, but it's okay. Even though this is Asbury and we're not allowed to do that. He looks like a good
We're not to Kresk yet. It's
We're
fine.
not to Kresk yet. It's fine.
Yes.
Very charismatic man, this wizard was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the devil Strahd. And he sort of like makes little devil horns and he looks right at you with your, quote, mask. And he gets this big grin on his face like, see, I'm telling the same story you're telling. Look, this is so cool. He gave me the perfect time. And he says,
I have much confusion.
the wizard. And the children are like, oh! The wizard stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle in mass. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. And the children all, and they like hug their little stuffed animals and they look at each other with these big saucer-shaped eyes. And the man, who's obviously having a wonderful time scaring the daylights out of these children, says, the wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard, yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet, down, 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 to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body, see if he had anything useful. And he looks at the adults who are sitting around and they all laugh and they raise their pipes to him like, yeah, we know the feeling.
I nod
But-
approvingly.
You know. But alas, the river
I'm just
Iblis-
quietly making bat noises.
But alas, the river Iblis had already spirited him away. Strangers, travelers, please warm yourselves by the fire. Take as much time as you need. You're safe here. Welcome to the Serpool encampment of the Vistani. It's wonderful to have you. We don't get many guests. What brings you here?
Donnie doesn't get me guessed.
That's right. And who are you? You're quite charming.
How old is this person? Is it old enough for this to be weird?
Mid to late 20s.
Oh shoot. I'm like a little baby. You better watch it.
Yeah. He's a Vistani in Barovia who's drunk at night. He doesn't know and he doesn't care.
I'm just
He
saying.
also knows that you have like lots of fun piercings and if you weren't green could possibly pass as a Vistana. Like you're just gaudy and fun. So he's just like, hey, I like that one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ignore this conversation and say, Madame Eva!
Oh, you've come to see Madame Eva. Well, lucky for you, she's still up. Bit of a night owl, I suppose. And he gestures over to the... I can do it too. And he starts hooing back at you, awkwardly, for a couple minutes.
At first I'm confused, but, I kind of like this guy, because
Embrace it.
he's mimicking like I do, so, hey.
Let's ship it. You made a friend! Alright. So, the storyteller points you in the direction of Madame Eva's tent. And as you enter, it's a very different mood. There's a very pungent scent of spices and incense and latent smoke that just sort of lingers in the air. It's very heavily scented. There's actually not a door to this tent or carnival carriage. There's a curtain of beads that sort of tinkle and clatter against each other as you enter. There's a reddish glow to the room as magic flames in several sconces against the walls are lit very dimly, casting a soft light, enough to see by, but not enough to reveal anything. You can see a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As
Crystal is pretty. I kind
Yeah.
of want to touch it.
Oh, as this old hunched figure speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last you have arrived! And cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her lips.
Oh,
were
so you were
expecting us?
expecting us.
Lux, Melanthios, Cuckoo, and no one ever really knows your name, dear. It is a problem. You should get that looked at.
Wow.
You have been greatly troubled on this journey. You two, you were brought in by my people, weren't you?
Yes.
That's
Brought
so
in,
wonderful.
left.
Well, we do.
Abandoned.
We do that. It's more fun that way.
Yeah,
And you,
we
darling,
understand the theatrics now.
you were struck by the razors of a door, weren't you? I'm so sorry. Your feathers have grown back in quite nicely, if I do say so
I
myself.
puff out a little bit.
She approves of this. And she looks at Melanthios and she just, oh, my poor child, there's too much wrong with you to begin.
Oh.
Well. Have you come to have your fortunes read?
I kind of thought
Yes,
you knew what
why?
we came for.
Oh.
Fortunes read, wardrobe changes, you know what.
Oh,
Oh, my
wardrobe
God.
changes. We can help with that. You'd look
I
lovely
mean-
in a Vistani gown, darling. You'd be adorable. You'd fit right in.
You have good fashion sense. The rest of them.
And as you guys have gotten closer, she seems a little crazy, a little eccentric. She's got kind of a, hooked nose a bit. But when she was younger, she was probably quite pretty. By Vistani standards. But she seems a bit mad, a little out of touch now, but she still seems relatively safe at the moment.
At the moment.
Okay, I want my fortune told. Also, do you have anything pink?
Certainly, darling. We can find you anything you like. And she reaches out and she sort of like pats the side of your head. She stops a minute at the white streak in your hair. Sort of like fondles it for a moment.
Ew.
Just between her, she sort of like rubs it between her fingers, looks at it. Sniffs. Very well. And she produces 2 decks of very worn cards.
Yes!
Which I have been waiting for since you guys left Death House.
I have been reading also.
Oh, I need to move.
so exciting.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Holy crap, I need to get the map out of the way. So, she sets out her 2 decks. Let's begin. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy.
I poke at it a little with my beak.
You poke it? Okay.
Yes.
The card shifts slightly. You don't get anything strange from it. You actually feel a little bit of a zap of electricity as Madame Eva points her finger at you and goes, ah, ah, ah.
Oh!
Let
Wow.
the cards tell their story, my dear. And she pulls a second card. And she looks at it. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection. A holy symbol of great hope. She pulls the third one and she looks at it for a long moment. Just the back of it. Staring. This card is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance. A sword of sunlight. And she moves to the second deck. This card. Oh. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness.
Card.
And this. Oh, this. And she sort of runs her fingers along the arcane symbols on the outside edge of the card. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. Now, let's begin. The warrior. Yes, that which you seek lies in the womb of darkness, the devil's lair, the one place to which he must return. Second, the monk. The treasure you seek is hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint. The traitor, yes. Look for a wealthy woman, a staunch ally of the devil. She keeps the treasure under lock and key with the bones of an ancient enemy. The card of your assistance, the dungeon. Search for a troubled young man, surrounded by wealth and madness. His home is his prison. And finally, where you will see the greatest darkness of all that has cursed this land thus far, and no longer innocent. Ha! Of all places. He haunts the tomb of the man he envied above all. Ha! She sort of leans back in her chair, and she stares at the cards for a long moment. Passes a hand over her eyes. Oh, I could use a drink. She reaches back, pulls a wine flask from the side, and I have note cards for you guys of the fortune telling.
Yay!
Yeah.
So who wants to take care of these?
I can
Adventure.
take them because I always use this.
Yeah, do not give them to me. I will lose
Don't
them.
give them to me.
So you can just leave them in here somewhere.
Oh, that's a good
If
idea. How
somebody
about you
remembers
keep them?
where they
That's
are.
way better.
As long as someone remembers them.
As long as somebody remembers where we put them.
Maybe a drawer?
That was good. Your
Yes,
hands were shaking
yes.
and
I
everything.
know.
dramatic.
That was so cool.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that since December, you guys.
Oh,
I was so ready.
good.
I was so ready to be the creepy old fortune teller. You don't even understand. I wasn't ready to be anyone else in this adventure thus far, but I was ready to be the evil fortune teller. Not evil, the old creepy fortune teller. It was a difference.
She felt pretty sketch.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny.
My feathers had grown back nicely. I like
Yes. Hey, I mean that was cool.
her. Even if her cards at my beak a little salty about that.
Yeah, well, you also poked at her card, so you know.
Willow's over here eyeing me when
Also-
you said a wealthy woman trader. I'm like, do you remember that I'm a guy?
I mean,
Do you
if
remember?
were trans, you would fit the description perfectly.
That's
Trader, but
wrong.
instead
That's
you live
fair.
in the closets.
Wow.
That's fair. But seriously, you guys, I'm so freaking proud of these cards, and I'm so freaking proud of my
Are these the
Meta
ones that I remember you putting tea on?
Yes, look at them.
There's
they're
blood
cute.
too, man.
Oh, so good.
And after she reads your fortunes, she looks at you, and she goes, "Please, free Barovia from this curse that has been laid upon it for centuries. Barovia needs rest, needs water, needs life. You're not the first adventurers to come through, and I don't think you'll be the last. But do your best, dears. Do your best."
You try really hard.
I try so hard.
I was wondering if you had any advice on our plan.
What plan is that, dear?
We're trying to find someone
Oh,
who is with Strahd and
well,
take that person into our possession.
if Strahd has what he wants, you're not going to get it away from him. You can certainly try, but you will not succeed.
Is that in your cards?
in my experience. And she taps the side of her head and gives you this, like, knowing grin with her creepy old woman smile.
But there's always a first for everything.
Not in Barovia. Even the souls here are hundreds of years old.
But I'm not from Barovia.
That's right, we brought you in. I like this one, we should keep him.
Feathers are like fully puffed out now.
She puts some beads on your feathers. So she just takes a string of beads and just puts them on you.
I am just so happy right now.
Cuckoo's life is made so much better.
What kind of stuff does Strahd like?
Well, he is always searching. Always searching. He's very sad. He's a sad, sick man.
What's he searching for?
Legend speaks of a woman that he once loved hundreds of years ago.
I need you to make an intelligence saving throw. Melanthios.
I can already see the crazy ideas turning in your head.
That's a 3, that's a 5. I think you were +2. Or 7, whatever. Anyway, still not the DC. As she starts to describe this, which I will describe for the rest of you, but Melanthios, as soon as she mentions a woman that Strahd once loved, you are suddenly taken back in your mind to the first time you entered that amber room, and there was a almost picture like paintings come to life, moving across one of these amber screens, and you realize you've seen Irina. You've seen this woman before in different clothing, in a different life, perhaps. You realize that the woman in the vision with Strahd, when he was still young and full of life, they are one and the same person. The woman that left Strahd for his brother Sergei. The woman that was ultimately Strahd's downfall in becoming a vampire was Tatiana. But Tatiana is Irina. And Irina is clearly mortal. And that, with that, you come back to yourself. And you're sitting there like, oh, you sit down on one of the wonderfully cushioned velvet seats in this establishment. Madame Eva sort of tilts her head at you and she goes, I'm sorry, dear, here. And she hands you her wine flask. And she proceeds to inform the others that reincarnation is very common in Barovia. There are only so many souls that can go around because of the curse on the land, and the curse that is afflicting Strahd. Because Strahd, in his anger and jealousy, committed a terrible sin that turned him into a vampire, the murder of his brother. And because of that, his soul and Irina's soul are both trapped in this plane of Barovia until the curse is broken. So every time Irina is killed, every time she comes back in a new form, Strahd still searches. And searches. And searches.
You can get this dude a therapist.
Where did you get this? What is a therapist, dear? I've never heard.
How
of
curse
such a
broken?
term. There, I cannot help you. My business is with the cards.
And do your cards say anything else?
They say that I'm not very good at helping in these situations. That is what they said. They also say that my DM screen fell over and you can't see my notes, which is a very bad thing for such an old woman. I'm struggling so much, my dears.
Do you know where Gertruda is?
Gertruda!
That's another lost person.
I thought it'd be about her.
You are very bad at keeping track of your friends and allies.
This is not a
Oh,
friend,
yeah,
this
this
is
is
a
right.
paycheck.
What was that guy's name?
I don't think I want to associate with you people anymore. I'm not angry, I'm only disappointed. And also slightly angry.
Hey, we
we take you
fought
with us?
off a lot
Can we
of
take her?
things.
By like force?
You can certainly try.
No!
I'm just saying, if she can read the future, she could definitely
That's actually true.
be of use.
You can certainly
Rude.
try.
Let's try.
You're going
Don't take her by force.
Yes. Okay, we can take her. We can try by persuasion first.
You're gonna try to persuade her?
I mean, yeah, but if that fails,
Okay. So you try, and she looks at you, and she goes,
No, dear. You're looking for the dungeon, not me. Find him, and he will help you on your quest.
Oh, really?
I'm just an old woman.
How's the dungeon gonna help us?
you should come with us until we find.
A troubled young man surrounded by wealth and madness. His home is his prison. This
Sounds
card.
like you.
Hey! This card tells who will help you greatly in your quest. Hope this isn't that Doru kid.
"Oh, you lost him." Good job, team.
He sounds nice though. I like this guy.
Yeah.
I think you should come with us until we find him.
My place is with my people.
What people?
She just gestures to her lovely, lavish Vistana tent, and you can hear the sounds of children outside and merrymaking going on.
You're too old to be of use to them.
I'm too old to be of use to you.
I'm
No,
just
but
glaring at
certainly
you like, what
entertainment.
do you think you are doing?
Taking collateral.
Wow!
I start fingering the beads she gave me nervously. I'm just like, ah. I don't like the direction this is heading. I don't want any more
Okay.
trouble today.
Mm-hmm. She just hunkers down, gets a blanket, wraps it around her shoulders.
Can you tell us where this dungeon is?
The cards did not reveal that much to me, my dear.
Do you know of any dungeons anywhere other than maybe it's in the castle?
The dungeon isn't the place, it's the name of the card.
Oh.
We're looking for.
Hmm.
Oh wait, that's not a dungeon. That's like a different spelling.
Oh.
Can you use your future telling crystal to, or your crystal ball to locate this person so we can find them?
My apologies, my dear. I did my best.
Do you know
Thank
which?
you for coming to visit a lonely old woman.
Oh, she's so sweet. Do you support us in our quest?
Oh,
Ma'am.
yes, dear. Yes,
Didn't
dear.
you just say we were doomed to fail?
Yes, but I still think you can try. All of them do, and they're all so sweet when they first come by.
Do you have a gift for us that we could use on our quest?
For example, some
Party
weapons,
favors.
some party favors. Willow's so cute. I still want some
You
pretty.
don't know my name still.
Oh, sorry, Sam.
Sam. Gotta find them.
We need some servants' clothes and
No.
some fabulous clothes.
We need fabulous clothes. Why would we use servants' clothes?
For them.
for you guys. Fabulous servants, though.
Okay, but just saying, that doesn't exactly, like, make you look better if you have, like, if you have gross-looking servants. Doesn't make you look good.
No, have good-looking servants and everything.
Who are you calling
I'm
gross?
still fiddling with these little beads, and one of the strings breaks a little bit, and I make a little startled squawk, and then I just, like, quickly tie it back together before anyone notices.
See, this thing, if you can go gossip with Strahd's vampire servants and find out all the good information.
Vampire servants!
Once we find this dungeon, dude.
I mean,
Let's
the
see.
Vistani must have some pretty good, nice looking clothes.
He's troubled young man surrounded by wealth and madness. His home is his prison.
I still say you.
I'm not surrounded by enough wealth yet, though. Wealth.
Hey, did old girl have a father? Or was it just the mom?
Which one?
Well, like, Jezebel or something.
What?
True, you mean?
Jezebel! I'm confused. I'm really confused. I'm kind of sad.
Gertrude.
Gertrude,
Gertrude!
there was no father that you saw. You only saw Mad Mary.
I think we completely neglected to ask that question at any point.
Oh, about the father?
No.
Are you fatherless?
Are you
I'll tell you
fatherless?
about Jesus.
Oh my gosh! Get out. Get out. Leave my game.
I'm just saying, it's like hope for the hopeless, fathers for the fatherless.
Wow.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also...
I'm sorry, I'm not funny.
That's not
That was
religion
funny.
in
I
this
thought it was
game.
funny. Yeah, we just had like you weren't here, so we kept making jokes about people crossing themselves, even though crosses aren't a thing in Barovia. Like,
What?
we kept making jokes about people like crossing themselves whenever someone mentioned werewolves or vampires, even though crossing isn't a thing in Barovia because there was no Christ. So it's like, why are we doing this?
Can we spread the Christian gospel? Can we? Oh my goodness.
Willow.
We have to tell everybody about Jesus from now on. Yes. No, seriously.
I mean, you have a cleric.
Yes.
Cleric of
Okay,
Jesus.
but you got like, y'all.
Ah, you people.
I'm just saying, like, nobody said.
She hands you a potion and says, "Please get out of my tent.
Wow.
No solicitors."
Don't drink it.
No
Get out of
solicitors.
my thing.
Can you hand her her d20?
Oh, yeah. It kind of went a long way.
Yeah, she hands you a potion. It's a sparkling sort of red potion. There's a little bit of a gold thread, like, almost. This is my gift to you. You asked for help. It's the best I can do. Now please leave my tent.
Okay, so we've got this potion, we leave. Did she give us, like, clothes?
Yes. You guys go around, you ask the other Vistani. You're able to acquire some nice sets of fun Vistani clothing.
As we leave, I kind of turn around and I'm like, bye-bye. Sorry. Be crazy.
As you do that, the now very drunk Vistana by the fire salutes you and lets out a whistle, like a farewell sort of trill kind of thing.
I
Yeah.
repeat that.
Oh, okay. And he,
Oh my gosh,
he
she's sitting
laughs
here
and
mating with him.
he laughs and falls over backwards off of his chair. And with that, we're gonna call it because it's 1 a.m.
Alright, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the second official episode of Dorm Rooms and Deadlines. We'll see you next week.